Hello.
Hey guys, you guys are frozen. There we go. They're here. Can you hear us?
Okay. Hi.
Hi, yes.
Hi. I'm going to turn up the volume here a little bit so I can hear you guys better. Okay, there you go. I can hear you. Okay. How you guys doing today?
We're okay.
Uh,
I just got back from a business trip.
awesome. Yeah, you were in. Where were you at again? You were out of the country, right?
Yes, yes. Malaysia. I was in Malaysia for a few days.
All right. What were you in Malaysia for? What kind of business trip? Were you consulting firms?
Uh, these were regional sales meetings and operations meeting.
Okay. Okay. Sales meeting, basically. Going over the data and how everybody's doing.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Well, glad to have you guys here. And I just lost my microphone for a second. Hold on. So, hold on. This is me being professional. Hold on. I got my microphone taped to my t-shirt. Um, okay. So, okay, there you go. Okay. So, I'm assuming you guys had a chance to finish all the video we went over last time, right?
Uh, Abby was able to go through it. I was still trying to catch up. Uh,
Okay. Okay, so you ran out of time. You got too busy with work.
yes. But we went through the questions that you were asking us.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, you were asking us about the sales, the salary, the sales that we wanted to have, the salary level we wanted to have,
Mm-hmm.
and what value we can give to customers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how much can we make for clients?
Mm-hmm. Oh wait. So wait, these are questions that you have for me.
No, no, those are what
Oh,
you were
oh,
asking us to
that's
prepare.
okay. Gotcha. Okay, I was like, wait a second. Okay. I got it. Okay. Okay. I just got to slow down for. I've been rushing all day. I've been working on a ton of stuff for you guys all day today. Okay, slow down. Okay, so, all right. So yeah. So before we get started on everything I have presented for you guys, so tell me about the information that you've gathered to those questions.
Yes. Well, we start off with how much can we make for clients,
Okay.
and depending on the size of the operation of our clients.
Gotta love the lag. You guys froze over there, I think.
Being conservative.
Oh, frozen.
Oh,
You guys have, if you have anything else open on your computer, close anything you have open. If you have anything, any tabs, okay. I'm sorry.
nothing open. I think
Okay.
today the internet signal.
Oh boy.
Uh,
You guys are frozen. You guys cut out there. You kind of froze there for about 15 seconds there, Patrick. Uh, you wanna go back? What were you just saying now? The answer to the question? It was frozen.
yes, we were saying that depending on the sub operations of our customer,
Okay.
and we're looking
Oh man.
um, at 10% additional profit for the not so technified customers, easily 40% onward.
Okay. Can you say that answer question one more time? You're cut out. Your connection is choppy.
Yes, the internet companies today are have very bad service. Um, is it clear now?
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. It just froze here for a moment. Go ahead.
Yes. I was saying that for the customers that are not, sorry, I was saying that the better customers, those that have better operations, we can add a minimum of 10% profitability.
Okay.
For those customers that are not as efficient, less technified, we can go as high as 40% to 60% more profit
Okay.
on their operation.
Okay.
And then that is the very large increase.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And then once they give you the numbers, when they give you the numbers, you'll be able to figure out exactly how much you can help them expand their profit margin.
The operations that we're dealing with, roughly would be making $2 million profit. On some operations, we have doubled that to even more than. We have taken some operations from 2 million profit to $6 million profit
Okay.
on an annual basis.
Say that again.
On it, we have taken some operations from 2 million profit to 6 million profit before tax.
2 million to 7 million. 2 million to two
On
million.
a annual, two
2 million.
million to 6 million
2 million.
every year.
Okay.
So that is a repeatable profit.
Okay. 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 Gotcha. Now I have a question. So, all this data, you doing this, is this basically more off of you? Is this based on more off of what your work directly with those farmers?
Yes, it is based on a system that I had developed, which I am trying to teach my sales team how to understand and deliver, communicate to customers. But up to today, they still have a hard time, and they still ask me to join them to do the final presentations to customers.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's because Pat's the man.
Yeah, I had a head start over them.
Oh, big time. Well, listen, the reality is you can't teach over a decade of experience in a couple months. It takes a while.
Yes.
You have a tremendous amount of knowledge, and you just can't. It's one thing between teaching and understanding. In order to really understand it, you got to be doing it for a long time.
Yes. And
Um,
also because I've been working with large companies to start up, I saw all the difficulties that they had and where are the problem areas.
okay.
Right now, we have a lot of new investors coming in the industry, and we are able to guide them how to avoid these pitfalls that the previous investors had.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. And what else? What else do you want to mention?
Uh, yes. Uh, so in terms of the value, you were saying how much can we make for our clients? On startup operations, we are able to guide them in the proper direction. And that is basically almost, you can say, saving their entire investment. Because a lot of them have some wild ideas on how to do the business. And these were, you can say, from the large percentage who want to enter the industry and do it the wrong way and fail and lose money, we're able to save them from that and put them on the right direction.
Right, to where they could be on to the point to they could be on the point to trying these wild ideas that they have. Just a second. They could be on the point of trying these wild ideas they have, and they could end up they could end up basically causing themselves to lose their own business, right?
Exactly. What we see is they were setting themselves up to fail,
Yeah.
and then we put them in the right trap.
What you think is right isn't right. It's actually wrong. So basically, they think they're going the right direction, but they're actually going to go off a cliff. Basically, they think they're going in
Yes.
they think they're going the right direction, but then they actually are going to go off a cliff. Basically,
Yes.
okay. All right. So what else do you want to mention regarding your notes?
Yeah. Uh, the business, that is of course my expertise.
Say
But
the what
right
business?
now
The
we
what
were just
business? So you cut out. Say what the what business?
that is the pig production business,
Okay.
and we were just discussing with Debbie. We are at a very interesting stage right now because the company I work with, the sales force, has usually been dealing with the lower levels of our customers' staff, and now we have made big breakthroughs to talk with the owners of the company and be able to get them to buy in on our programs. So we are now on the implementation phase of going from a bottom-up approach to a top-down approach. And the
Okay.
owners realized, based on our meetings, they realized where were they going wrong, and they realized the opportunities if they start to use our product. So for the next 3 to 6 months, it will be now working very closely with the owners of these companies, which I felt is an advantage right now because now we're breaking into a bigger network, a more powerful network, and I would like to develop that relationship with the owners of these companies before I start up my own business. So now we are starting at a much higher level rather than working with just their managers down the line. So we are direct line to the owner of the company.
The owner of the farms.
The owner of the farms and the owner of these very large companies.
Okay.
Because basically the companies we work with are only subsidiaries of the main company, and we never even got to the level of the owner of the board of directors of the main company.
Okay.
Now we have made big breakthroughs, and we're talking directly to the owner of the entire company, and they have taken a very high interest in what we have to offer.
So
And
you're
they were
talking
actually on the line and telling their managers, "Why didn't you do this in the first place?"
right. So you mean that so you're the systems you're developing are now getting to the point to where that the owners of the farms and the owners of the company the big top tier farms, the top like 3%, right? They're starting to see the value in your systems, right?
That is correct.
Because based off my research, like I what was the it was like over 90% of the farms out there are small farms. But but the but that only makes up about not even half, maybe about what was it, 10%, 20% of all the agricultural growth and everything. But the top like 5% of farms actually make up about 90% or 80% of the production, something like that. But you're working with a big. Okay, I see where you're going with this. So okay, great. So what else? Anything else you want to mention regarding your notes?
Uh, well, I think that those are the main points. And my ultimate goal is to be able to improve our industry. And we were saying that as the market changes, these large companies will be the ones to dominate the industry. There will be consolidation. The small producers will eventually fall out of the production base, and these large companies will be the ones to dominate the industry. is I was just discussing Debbie. It's a similar dynamic in the US market where
You,
20
you
years ago,
Will
with
you say that? Wait,
25,000
hold on.
farmers.
Say that again, Pat. You cut out. Say that. Go back a little bit. You said what now?
Yes, I was saying that in the U.S. market before there were 25,000 farmers with the capacity of about 4 million sows, and today, 20 years later, there are now roughly 150 large corporations operating 6 million sows. So the small scale production base is going to fall out. There will be consolidation, and these large companies will take over. That's why my focus is on the large companies in Asia, and it will be a very similar dynamic because now you have African swine fever cutting across all of Asia, and it is affecting these small farmers, and they are starting to close down. That capacity resulted in 20 to 40% growth of the larger operators. They've expanded their capacity to take up the capacity of the smaller producers. So the opportunity is really to work with these large corporations.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is that there's more. They're starting there before because there. I have the numbers pulled up, but there's like you're basically saying that the what used to be a really small part of the market of big companies is just getting bigger, right?
Exactly. The rate of churn has increased dramatically since last year, since the outbreak of African swine fever.
Right. Well, it's good news. It's good news. It's good news that there's more bigger companies coming on the market. That's good. Um, Good. Those basically the main points. Right.
Our goal is really to increase food production in Asia because a very large part of the population in Asia barely afford to buy decent, nutritious food. And with this impending production, it will be even harder for the common people to buy nutritious food. And we want to push these large companies to be able to adapt quickly to take up that fall in production.
Right. Well, the reality is that there is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions and millions and millions of land that's being farmed out there. You know. So there's always going to be a market for the small farmers because for the past couple hundred years, right, 90% of the farms out there are the small farms, like 90%. So in order for that to flip, I would like to think it's going to take longer than our lifetimes. But it sounds like it's headed in that direction.
The reality is that urbanization is attracting a lot of the farm workers to the cities. A lot of the farmers, the next generation coming in, is not interested in doing farming. The average age of our farmers is running into close to 60 years old, and they're selling off their lands to be converted to real estate and commercial properties.
Right.
So there's a huge gap already in terms of new farmers coming in, and you cannot even hire anyone anymore to work in a farm today. That's why a lot of farms are shifting to automation.
Right.
Companies can afford that.
What's that, Abby? What'd you say?
And only big companies can afford that.
You're cutting out.
Improve the facilities. Just
Excuse that again, Abby. I'm sorry, you cut out. You cut out.
yeah, the big companies. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
The big companies, they're the one with the capacity to improve their facilities and their system. So they're the one who will survive later on.
Yes, and the backyard farms, the smaller farmers today, their cost of production is higher than their sales price. So they will eliminate themselves very quickly.
Right, but you're making it sound like that there's like literally like 800 million small farms out there, and there's like hundreds of million of there's maybe like 800 million small farms out there, and yeah, maybe 200 million of them aren't doing well, but then you got another 500 million of small farms that have over a 60% profit margin. So they're not going to just disappear and just, when people are making money, there's a lot of farms out there. People are making six-figure salaries, making $10,000 a month with 50% profit margins. There's hundreds of millions of farms out there like that. And if there's hundreds of millions of farms that have a profit margin of 50 plus percent, they're not just going to shut down and roll over and say, forget about it. Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Hopefully, yeah.
but I completely understand exactly what you're saying on point. Okay. But here's the thing, right? Uh,
Especially right now,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Sorry,
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
sorry. Especially right now, there's a disease. It's just started, and there are farms that are closing already. The small ones,
Right.
they are affected already from like Luzon. Hopefully, it will not spread throughout the southern part of the Philippines.
This is a big disruption, so to say. If we look at the total pig population worldwide, 50% is in China, and China just lost 50% of their total population.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide, there's a 25% reduction in total pig population because of that disease.
Right.
And the export volume out of Europe, South America, and North America is not even enough to
Supply.
supply the requirements of China.
Right.
Mm.
So what you're basically saying is that, what's the name of that country? Which country was that again? Which country?
China.
China.
So the one with the pig disease.
That is China,
Okay.
and that
So
same thing is spreading out throughout Asia right
Asia.
now.
right.
Yes.
So right now they're dealing with an epidemic over there. Right. They're dealing right. They're basically dealing with and they're basically dealing with like some kind of like epidemic in China and those countries. So it's going to be because of that epidemic, because of what's going on down there. It is likely that you're going to see the bigger corporations take over because of the epidemic. So that makes sense that that's going to happen. All right. For example, so if down there in China or Asia, the Philippines, you got a crop disease, and you got a million small farmers that depend on crops or their pigs. Well, yeah, those million small farmers are going to go out of business. They're not going to be able to handle, for example, if the crop and the pigs is like half the revenue, and that was their profit margin. So they're spending 20,000, 30,000 a month on their farm. They're pulling 100,000 gross, and they're netting around 70,000. But all of a sudden, their crops are diseased, or pigs are diseased. Well, now they're just barely breaking even, and now they're forced to sell their farms, right? So that makes sense for that to happen with that disease going on. But understand that that's a small part of the world. We got many other countries that don't have that disease. But I do agree with you to the point that again, the market share for the farms, agriculture. I've been doing a lot of research on this, by the way, ever since I bought your domain and doing all this business, doing all this stuff. A lot of research. So, like I said, of all the farms that are out there, the billion farms that are out there, only like 7% of them, like 10% of them are big, gigantic farms. Another like 90% of them are small farms. And and the reality is most people don't know what the hell they're doing when it comes to business. Okay? So Every day there's small farms going out of business. Every day going out of business, going out of business. But the reality is, every day there's more new small farms coming on the business, right? Every day. So it's back and forth. Every day there's millions of people that are dying and millions of people that are coming to life. Um, so, and here's the thing: there's always going to be, the small farms aren't going nowhere. It's not like people. I agree. For example, more people. The obesity rate is growing. Okay, so more people are getting fatter every day. Right, over half the population is overweight. It's getting worse as the years go by. Right, so just like things are changing. Right, so just like, for example, back in the day, 30 years ago, it was people were always on the phone selling 30, 40 years ago. And then 10, 20 years after that, nobody was doing phone selling and everybody's on the internet trying to sell things. But now this year, like now the best way to sell is over the phone again. Right? Because now people want to, you know what I'm trying to say? So there's shifts in the market. It's gonna happen. So back in 1980, people were selling on the phone. Then 1990 to 210, people were no selling on the phone, just on the internet. Now everybody's like, I want to talk to a person on the phone. So now all of a sudden, phone selling has become popular because now everybody wants to talk to a live person. So it's a shift in the market. So just like what you're doing, like with the farms, so you have that disease over there. So a lot of farms are going to die off because they can't handle it. They can't handle that hit. It's going to happen. I would see that would definitely be huge. But over here, there's no pig disease, there's no crop disease, from what I know. It's not, so far that disease hasn't come over here. Hopefully it doesn't come over here. But the good news is that for you is that you are very qualified to deal with big farms, big corporations, right? So for you, it's better for you because if there's more people, if there's more gigantic farms, right, big farms, then that's bigger clients for you to make more money with less clients, right? So ideally, for Patrick, what do you want? Because you're going to teach the same thing. Do you want 10 clients that are small farms that can pay you $1,000 a month, or do you want 10 clients that are big farms and each of them can pay you $10,000 a month? $10,000 a month income consulting or $100,000 a month consulting? So ideally for Patrick, it's better for you to be focusing on the big farms, right? You guys freeze.
Yes.
Oh man.
That's correct.
Am I right or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's
guys-
correct. We apart from the income that we're at, a lot of the larger technified farms will eliminate a lot of the environmental issues, a lot of the waste issues, also improve, dramatically reduce a lot of the outflow of foreign exchange from each operating.
Right. And you see there's pros and cons each, because the big farms, they're so big that they have to spend money on steroids for their chickens. They put all the crap on their crops to kill bugs. I mean, a lot of it's not even organic. It's not completely organic. They have all the chemicals on their crops to do when you do big scale corporation, big scale, you got bugs to deal with. It's very hard to keep things clean. You put steroids and stuff in your animals. KFC does it, right? So these companies
That's completely off. That is completely.
You guys are freezing. I can barely hear you. Why is the connection so bad today? Should we reset the call? Should we just reset? Because you guys keep. Last time the connection was good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Today is not a good day. Today is not a good day on the communication side.
Maybe you reset your Wi-Fi connection first.
Okay.
No, Debbie, it's the whole system.
What do you say?
It's the whole system. I think we have to reschedule.
Are they working on your internet there? Are they working on your internet?
The entire country, we have, hello,
Hey Debbie, reset the meeting
Huh?
and reset the meeting, Debbie, and send me a link. We're gonna try to use your Zoom. Okay?
Okay,
We're,
okay,
we're gonna try to do that. I upgraded my account, but
okay, okay, okay.
maybe it's gonna
Let
change.
Yeah,
We're gonna
let me reset the Zoom meeting. Okay, Patrick and Abby, why don't you reset your Wi-Fi connection first? Try reset your Wi-Fi
reset your
connection.
Wi-Fi and restart your computer real quick. Restart your computer.
Okay.
Restart your
Okay.
computer. Welcome back.
Hello.
I
Yeah.
the six.
You know what? I think it's a little bit better now. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Just going back to the
Yes,
discussion on
this is great. This is so much better. I'm so happy now. Okay, I'm happy now.
right.
Good. Okay. Back
Okay,
to what you were
good.
saying.
Yes, just going back on the farm systems that we are promoting, we don't have a lot of the situations or issues that you were mentioning about steroid use, antibiotic use, and we are able to put up high health farms with very minimal antibiotic use, with no steroid use, and these are the new systems that are what is acceptable to the market.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I would say 90% of the market still does not know this system. And we are trying to teach this and change the mindsets and their approach. And we have
Whose system is this? Whose system is this?
these are the systems that are being done by the best farms in the world. So
Okay.
these are systems that I've learned out of North America, out of Europe, uh, and we basically took the best practices and are trying to downflow them to the Asian market.
But are you basically kind of pioneering these systems?
It's a I wouldn't say we pioneered it because we learned it off of the best producers. We worked for a genetic company, and that genetic company basically took its best practices from their best customers.
Okay.
And we compiled those best practices and we were teaching them to the customers.
Okay.
Our customers that we have, of course, do not have the same level of exposure on an international level that the big genetic companies have.
Okay. Um, so I have a question. These systems that you teach now, these systems can be implemented in any farm, right?
Yes, they can. The local farmers always say that that only works in USA, that only works in Europe. We've disproved that because we took the same systems, implemented them in Asia, and those farms had exactly the same or even better results than in Europe and North America.
Right.
Because we have an advantage where our labor costs are higher and we can implement these same systems with in even greater detail than our Western counterparts.
A business is a business. A farm is a farm.
That's right.
I don't know why people think whether you're doing UX designer career, whether you're doing a farm consulting business, whether you're doing a gardening business, whether you're doing a personal development business, whether you're selling sales training, a business is a business. You get a problem, you get a solution, then you get a service. Right? So basically, yeah, it's good that your systems are universal. It's great. And they can be used in any farm. Now, these systems that you're talking about, right? You have a great understanding of these systems, right? So these are systems that you can teach, Or do you have to spend $5 million on farm equipment and stuff, or can you teach these systems?
These systems can be applied to from the modern technified farms down to the smaller backyard farms.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Yes, of course, if you have more investments in better equipment and facilities, you will get more out of the same system.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is that you are very well trained in helping big farms and small farms. That's great. So I have a question for you. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while now. So are there farmers that would like to work with you right now? Just work with Patrick. Is there any farmers that ever asked you, hey Pat, could you consult me one-on-one, just me and you?
Yes, I've had several offers from companies that are asking me to join their operations.
No, wait a sec. No, wait. When I'm saying, okay, when you say, you're saying companies and farms, farm companies? Okay.
Yes.
They're asking you to consult them, correct?
Yes.
Okay, to pay you directly.
Yes.
Okay, and what did you say to those offers?
Well, right now I cannot because there'd be a conflict of interest.
So are you trying to say that you can't take on a farm? Go ahead, Debbie, what's so funny? Go ahead, Debbie.
No. Continue first. Continue first.
Go ahead.
Continue first.
Okay, so because you were laughing at something, I want to know what you're laughing about.
No, continue first.
Because as soon as you said conflict of interest, Debbie started giggling over there. I thought it was
No,
fun.
continue first. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. How do I say this? Okay. So basically, what's happening here is farmers want to work with you, but you turn them down so you can keep your job. Is that correct?
Yes. The reason is I'm leveraging off of this company right now to get the higher levels of these companies. And I believe that once we are at that level, we are in a better position to be able to take advantage of the solutions that we're offering. Because to work within the organization of these companies from the bottom going up, it just takes too much work. And the success rate is not very high because you know how it is with these big companies. All of these guys are trying to protect their own interests, trying to secure their job security. Nobody wants to put their job on the line to try a new solution, even if they're completely convinced that it will work. The only one who is in a position to make that kind of decision is the owner.
Correct.
And we believe by going straight to the owner with a top-down approach
That's
is
right.
the best way to get the results.
That's right. That's exactly what you do. When you're doing any kind of consulting business, you don't talk to the secretary, you go to the boss. Right. You do not do that. And nope.
Yes.
There's over 500, there's over 1,000 people on the internet that are making a 6-figure salary consulting. And they go from the top down. That's how you do consulting business. Correct.
Yes.
And the idea is that when you're consulting, is that a consultant is not going to cause somebody in the company to lose your job. What a consultant is going to do is going to help everybody in the company get a raise.
Exactly.
Right. So you've been offered work to take on clients, and you turn it down to stay working at the company now. So and the reason for you to do that is for you to what? To learn more, to
increase my network to the right people.
Okay, so you're staying at your job right now so you can learn, so you can meet more people.
Right. because
the network.
because I can come with my full CV and list of accomplishments. But if I'm Patrick, the level of interest by the owner of the company will not be the same as when I come backed by a 1 billion euro annual sale company.
So do you just say that you are basically nobody without your company? Is that what you basically just said?
No,
No.
Sort of.
not saying that, but
Sort of.
but reality is reality. When you are backed by a very large company and you can do bigger deals, then there's a higher level of interest by the owners. Remember, the owners are not only looking at increasing their share value, but unfortunately in Asia, when they do business, they also want to sweeten the pot. They also want to have a personal incentive, which
Okay.
they can get
Okay.
by dealing with the bigger company.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay. I know more than enough to really
There
help you.
are there are actually some missing point here, but I'm not sure whether it's actually accurate or not because that's what I think. So the first one is that currently right now Patrick is leveraging the company resources. So he is able to get all these big clients because there is a strong background for his current company. So if let's say Patrick straight away offer them all these owner consulting services, then it will be very difficult because Patrick is not offering only the consulting, but also the whole system. And he is using the whole system that is connected with the current company. So that is the first one. Second thing is that because Patrick is very focusing on the big clients right now, and then they are able to get the access to all these owners in Asia, especially, he is using a lot of his time right now to work on this new system. So in the next few months, he will be very busy for doing all this new system. Okay. And the third one is that the conflict of interest. If you are still working in your job, especially as a very high level position in Asia, they usually ask you to sign an agreement that you cannot
A
offer some
non-compete
kind of
clause.
work outside.
Non-compete clause. Non-compete clause.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Also, exclusivity. Yeah.
so basically from Patrick's mind is that he is currently on the something's really great, on the big deal, on a new system, something that's going to really going big in the future, and everything is going really well, and he is able to manage everything awesomely. So now what he wants to do is actually to focus on Abby and then make Abby to become the main owner of the business first with the gardening pool, with the gardening industry and so on. And then when Abby becoming successful, only then Patrick will also take part of it.
I can understand your logic. I can understand why you're doing what you're doing. But understand that, as you know, in life, there's levels of awareness. And when you're at one level of awareness, you can't see what's above when you're not at that level of awareness. So right now, you are at one level of awareness where you see things a certain way, which you should see them that way. Now, there's a few things here that are important. Okay. We're in a different age now. We're in a completely different age now. And it's completely different than 20 years ago. All right? Things are different now. And as you started to see things from the 5 hours of video I sent you, right? You're like, whoa, business has changed. Right? You just saw a piece of it. Okay. If this was 20, 30 years ago, I'd say, okay, you're set on that. But that's just not 20, 30 years ago. Right now, Patrick, you have opportunities that you didn't have 20, 30 years ago. I also reviewed our video with you talking. I took notes on everything you said. I've studied your industry. I've looked at everything. Okay. I can't help you build a six-figure business if I don't know you inside and out. I'm not here to help you set up a website. I'm not here just to help you sell some pruno tools. I'm here to actually help you build a big business and a brand based on your skill. So I'm not interested in a small mark. I'm interested in a big mark. Okay. So here's the thing. You're working with a company, right? And you're developing new connections, correct?
Yes.
Big connections are people that have very deep pockets, that have companies that are probably over like 500 million plus, right?
Yeah.
You want to use your human relationship skills and directly network with them so that they are on your LinkedIn and you are connected to them and you have their cell phone number in your phone, right? That's a
Yeah,
connection.
you're talking about individuals with $2 billion net worth.
Right, right. Okay. Your company just says, listen to me now, just says you are using your company's also using you.
Yes.
They're using you. So you're basically saying over the next 3-4 months, you can be developing some big, so basically what you're saying is that you are in a pivotal, this is called the hockey stick growth. You ever heard that? So you're at a pivotal moment in your career that you are really being recognized for your abilities, right? And nobody can duplicate what Patrick does.
I'm sure there are individuals that can do, but as of now, there's no one on the pipeline.
Yes.
You're too modest, Patrick. You have tried to train people and they just can't get to your level with your training. But so you're at a point where we can finally meet some of these big people that have a lot of money that you were not able to reach last year or year before, right? Okay, so my question is, how much time are you going to spend in this bubble where you're networking with these high individuals? How long?
Well, moving forward, we expect that at least 30% of my time will be in direct relationships with these investors, and the balance will be used for implementation.
30% of your time networking now. To build relationships with potential clients so they're buying into the company you work for, correct?
Yes, a lot of business development work, relationship building.
And you're getting paid for that now, right?
Yes.
So they're going to pay you an extra 30% of your salary?
Not likely.
Hoping.
Not yet.
Hoping.
Not yet. Depends.
Some people just like working for slave wages, I'm telling you.
It's pro bono. Pro bono.
Not yet. Well, when the results come in, then of course I can leverage, and negotiate.
Okay. So are you trying to say that there's potential for these people to work with you if you had their phone number and your cell phone?
Yes.
So are you trying to tell me, now please be honest with me, okay? So is part of your exit strategy to have them in your pocket when you leave?
Yes.
Okay. And they don't know this, right?
Well, no. Well, they would always suspect,
Right. Okay, so 30% of your time is networking with billionaires. Okay, so you told me that you're at a six-figure salary right now, $10,000 a month. Okay, so how much are they going to pay you extra? Now you're spending 30%. Are you working more hours now per week, or are you still at 60 hours a week?
Roughly the same.
But you're telling me about 3 times 18 hours a week is going to be networking. Okay,
Yes.
so and how much is your salary going to increase now? So you started this now. So now that you spend 30% of your time networking with billionaires, okay? How much is your salary going up now? Today?
Well, we
It's a simple
very
question. It's a simple question. Just how much is
yeah.
your salary?
We're off of a percentage increase, and that's about 5% a year increase.
No, basically Patrick is having a new general manager right now, so that some of the workload is being delegated to this new general manager, so that he can use some time to do the networking.
But in the meantime, they're not going to pay you any extra for doing to help them make more money. They're just going to pay you the same.
No, I just get a percentage commission. So if sales increase, then I get a commission.
Okay. So if these big wigs that you're networking with buy in, you get a percentage of that sale.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. And how much are they going to give you? 3%?
Right now it's only 1/4 of a percent.
How much?
1/4 of 1%.
Oh my God.
One fourth?
One-fourth of 1%.
1/4 of 1%, 0.25%.
Yeah.
Okay, but how big is the deal? Is it like $1 billion deal or?
These are about $12 million deals.
Oh, okay, $12 million deal.
Yes.
How much is 1% from the 12 million?
No, he didn't say 1%. He said half a percent. I think you said.
1/4, right?
You said how much? You said half a percent?
1/4 of a percent.
One.
0.5%.
So wait. So 0.025. Oh well,
Yes.
they really don't like you over there, do they, Patrick? They really don't like you over there.
You're keeping the money.
Yeah, but these are high volume deals. The margins that we have are not that high.
And besides, there are other sales executives who's working with him, and they're getting also commissions. But
Yeah.
their commission is higher than his
No,
commission.
their commissions are the same.
0.95.
The salesman, they would get 1.5%, and then I get a 0.25 on top of everything they sell.
Ah, that is good.
But why do you only get? Wait. No. Why do you get 1/4%? Why don't you get 1.5%?
Because I have a higher base pay.
And overall sales of the company.
Okay, so because you are making $10,000 a month, because you have a higher base pay, they're using that to get altitude over you in the negotiation, the deal to give you 1/4%.
For every sales people that is under Patrick right now, you also get the percentage of the sales commission, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
based on total sales.
So you
So
get
right now-
so you get 1/4% of total. I'm sorry, Debbie. Go ahead.
No. You continue first.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Continue.
Okay. So you get 0.5% of all the sales in your team.
Yes. 0.25%.
And you said they did 50 million last year, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what, Debbie? Can you do the math on that? What is 1/4% of 50 million? I have too many. I have about 500 tabs open for you guys on my presentation, so I can't.
125,000.
Okay, 125,000. So my question is, when do they pay you that much?
The reference for the commission that I get is only on my business unit, which is we sold $22 million last year in my business unit, but I also have cross-functional responsibilities in the other two business units. So In those other two business units, we sold a total of 50 million. But for my business unit alone, it was 22 million. And I get 1/4 of 1% on that one.
So it's around $55,000.
Yes.
And
Yes.
do they pay you that once a year?
They pay that to me every year.
So that's like your bonus check, your commission check.
Yes.
Okay, so why are they paying you $10,000 a month to operate your team, correct?
Yes.
But then they also make you work on these other two teams,
Yes.
and they don't pay you for that.
That's supposed to be part of the base pay.
No,
But
that's
my
off.
responsibility on those teams is more of a disciplinary rather than a functional responsibility.
But yeah, but that's important because, as you know, Patrick, you're helping with efficiency.
Yes.
That's money, and they're not paying you for that. That is not correct. That is wrong. They're not paying you for that. They're not. They should be paying you for that. They're not paying you for that. Okay. So 30% of your time is networking, and you're not getting paid for networking, correct?
Yeah, well, that's supposed to be part of the base pay.
Part of the base pay. Part of the base pay. Okay. Okay. So you're at $10,000 a month plus $55,000 a year bonus. You're at $120,000 plus $55,000, which puts you at $175,000 a year before taxes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to ask you a question. This is okay. Let's get down to this here. What is the goal here? What is the goal? Like really, what is the the goal from what I hear from Abby is for you and her to be able to just to travel and enjoy yourselves, and for you to be able to come home and not talk about business. That's the goal, right?
I don't know with him.
No, okay, so okay, I got all that. That all was all very helpful information. So now I want to get started the presentation here, but I want to ask you, what is the goal here now? Really, what like why am I here? Like, what is the point of the business? Like, what are we trying to achieve here?
Well, yeah, we're trying to work with our industry, improve our industry, but on a personal side, of course, we want to be able to accumulate enough capital for us to be able to start something on our own. So in our older age, we don't have to worry about income. So start to build up a big enough resources to be able to invest properly to generate enough passive income.
Okay. So you're saying is that you want a business, so when you're ready to leave your job, you can be fine and have a business or replace your job income. So then you can continue to then save money and invest money in other places like real estate. Versus if you didn't have a business, then if you're trying to live off your retirement, then it'd be very hard for you to invest in anything else or increase your portfolio because you're living off of your retirement and you have no income coming in. Right?
Right.
So you're thinking, you know what? Okay, well, when I retire, if I don't have a business, and then I just got to live off, let's say my $500,000, let's say my one, what this, they don't pay you anything. 30% of that is taxed. Anyways, so you retire, and let's say you save up $500,000. So when you retire, it's either A, retire with no business, and then you have to try to live off of like $500,000 savings, and then your retirement paycheck or your pension. So now you have no other money coming in. So therefore you're limited and live a restricted lifestyle when you're retired. And then you can't really afford to invest in anything else because you're trying to watch your money. And you don't want to be stuck like in a box when you retire. So what you want to do is you want to have a business set up. So when you have a business that's pulling in $30,000 a month, you can say, okay, I have $30,000 coming in every month. Okay, I don't have to live in a little box. I can actually do things. I can travel. I can invest, buy real estate, and continue to do what I want to do. Right?
Yes.
Okay. But it tells me that the big thing here is this, is your time. It sounds to me that you have all the money you need to go blow $20,000 on pruners, okay? You have all the money you need to do whatever you want. But the problem here is that you don't have time. You have 60 hours a week that's gone, and then Abby only works maybe 30, 40 hours a week. Is that correct, Abby? Okay. So the problem here is this, is that we have a problem where you're gone, and then when you come home, you're such an ambitious man, which you are. You're doing such big deals, it's impossible for your brain to turn off when you get home. I know what that's like. Right? You're taking their business as if it's your own business. Okay, and you almost have to do that because you have so much going on. So you're actually working about 80 hours to 100 hours a week. That's what you're really doing. Right, Abby?
Yes, I agree with you.
Right. So it sounds to me what you want is your time back. Okay, and what you want to be able to do...
Enjoying what he's doing.
Huh?
I think he's also enjoying what he's doing. So.
Well, you have to.
Oh yeah, correct. Well, if work, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Like it shouldn't feel like work.
Yes.
Like if I felt like this was work, I wouldn't be here. Like I have fun doing this. So just like, okay. So the thing is that, so let me ask you a question. Let's just say, so basically 120,000, 75,000, 30% of that is in taxes, 30, 40, 50 grand. At the end of the day, you're only bringing home around 120,000 a year after taxes, right?
For the basic are
including commission. Yes.
Okay, right. So a lot of that's going into taxes, and you can't write a lot of that off because if you had a business, you could also write a lot of things off. But so let me ask you a question. Okay, let's just say you could build a business and get to $20,000 a month and only work 10 to 20 hours a month. Would you still stay at your job?
Yeah, that would be more attractive.
Okay. So I want to ask you a question. Okay, and this is all respect to the two of you. If you had an option to replace your complete income and then some, and have an extra 40 and have an extra 30 and have an extra 20 hours a week with your wife, if that was an opportunity, would you do that, or would you just stick at your job?
Well, definitely the first option is better.
Okay. So, what I like about what I'm hearing, and this is all this, and no judgment at all. What I like is that you're putting a big value on your time. Okay. Because the problem that I'm having here is this: is right now okay. So about 2 minutes on this, I'm gonna get back to the presentation. I really want to show you guys. I spent like 20 hours. What I want to show you guys. So what I hear is this, and I had the same problem with Tony over here at Front Gunner. Tony took his company from $300,000 a year to over $3 to $4 million a year. One man. He builds sales teams now. Tony said to me when I first started talking to him, well, Thomas, can you help me figure out how to get 100 people to join me on a group chat so I can sell a book for somebody else for 20 bucks? I'm a John C. Maxwell coach. I want to sell this guy's book. I said, Tony, why are you trying to sell his book? Why don't you sell your own book? Well, nobody knows who I am. If I use John C. Maxwell, people will listen to me. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me and Tony talked. We shifted. I said, no, you don't do that. These people are tuning into you and the results you provide. They don't care about your credentials. They care about what you can do for them. He went from giving away a program for free for 8 weeks, his accountability program, to charging for it. $6,000. Boom. He went from giving it away for free for 8 weeks to charging 6 people $1,000 a piece. Done. Works with each person for like 10 hours. Okay? 6,000. So it's about 2. So 6 people, 10 hours a piece, 60. Yeah, $100, $200 an hour. Okay, on his own time. See? What I'm trying to, so the thing is we're at right now is that you're sticking at your job because one, to get the connections, okay, and two, because you feel like that if you don't have them backing you, people won't care about you as much and you won't be as valuable. Is that correct?
Well, right now, the thing is, I've been working with these large companies for almost 30 years.
Right,
And given the culture that the management has, they will never pay you for your value as a consultant.
right,
However, when you're talking to the owner of the company, that is a different story.
right, right. Okay. So my question is, how much time, we'll just say hypothetically, how much time would it take you to build these connections that you want to build? How much time are we talking about? Are we talking about 3 years, 3 months?
Right now, we're based on the appointments that we have in the next 3 months. We will be establishing the network with 4 very large companies.
Okay.
And if we can just start off with those first 4, it will be very much easier to move forward in the next companies.
How much more time do you plan on working there for?
Initially, I was looking at another 2 to 3 years.
In the company?
Yes. Because I also, apart from building the side of the customer, I'm also building up my company to deliver the solutions.
Your personal brand?
No, well, to build up the organization, the products, the systems for them to be able to deliver on the solutions that we are offering.
Okay, so 2 to 3 years to build up your personal brand, right? Okay. Okay. So the plan is 2, 3 years with them, build some more network connections so when you can just quit your job or retire from there. Are you going to quit or retire in 3 years?
I was planning on putting up my own business in 3 years' time.
Okay, I see. Okay, okay, okay. I'm just trying to understand where you're at. Okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
Because once I have established the system in these large companies, you have the track record, and then you have your proof of performance. It is much easier to go from there.
Okay, but don't you already have proof of performance? Don't you already have proof of your skills and your abilities?
I do, but I want to take it to a much higher level and develop a wider base so that the arguments moving forward in the sales process will be much reduced.
What would the arguments people would make?
uh, it's always, yeah, that will work for those companies, but it will not work with us. That's always the case wherever you go. Um, However, when you have proven it over a larger scale, then it becomes irrefutable.
There's a reference point.
Okay, I have a question for you. If you okay, how many? If you asked, if you asked people to give you a testimonial on that you've helped them with their farm, how many people do you think would volunteer to give you a testimonial?
So easily 20 people.
Okay.
And a lot of the deals that our company enjoys today is based off of those successful relationships that I've built.
Yes.
Actually, the customer said we don't even want to buy from that company because of our bad experiences with them in the past.
Yes.
But because you're now heading it, we're willing to try again.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say hypothetically, if you got fired tomorrow, let's just say, I hope not. Let's just say, how many people do you think could be willing to have a one-on-one strategy session with you about their farm to see if you could help them that you know right now?
A lot.
Okay, okay. You're gonna learn something with me that if we end up doing business together, You can't be abstract. You got to be tangible. So what does it mean a lot? Is that 5, 10, 5,000? What does that mean?
Easily 30 large companies.
30 large
And then
companies.
also from our company, if that will be his business.
Okay, let me ask you a question now.
List.
Say that again, Abby. Say that again, Abby.
Aside from the numbers that he has, if he will build his own company, I can also add from our list of clients in our company.
From the company that you work at.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking that if you tell me that right now there's around 50 people, 30 from you, 20 from your wife, that would be willing to sit down and have a one-on-one strategy session with you like this. Now, when you say these are not small farms, these are bigger companies, right?
Yes.
See this right here? I made my mark. You could literally make your mark right now. Watch. 50 people. Like, if I actually built you a website, set up your testimonials on the website, got you video testimonials, make it look fancy, taught you how to close a high-end deal on a one-on-one call like this, okay? This one deal, look, one deal, $30,000, okay? One deal, $30,000. So you got 50 people, big farms, okay? You say big farms, you mean that they're doing over 500,000 a year kind of thing?
Net profit for these large farms is running around $3 to $10 million a year.
So you're saying that you have about 50 contacts of farms that are doing over a couple $1 million a year that'd be willing to talk to you one-on-one?
Yes.
And right now you're making $10,000 a month, plus you add in your bonus, so it puts you around $12,000 a month. Is this after taxes or before?
Before tax.
So after tax, you're doing about $8,000 a month.
Yes.
Okay, and you're telling me that you make this company around $1 to $2 million a month.
For the customers, yes.
Okay. Do you hear yourself right now? Now watch this. 50 people. Okay. One-on-one sessions. We had 50. I could one-on-one sessions like this with each person, one-on-one. Where are you at? Where do you want to be with your farm? Where are you at? Where you want to be? Okay. Here's 10 steps. Do you see how this can help your farm make an extra $50,000 this year? Yes. Do you want to implement this plan by yourself or want me, Patrick, to help you with it? Patrick, I want you to help me with it. Okay. $5,000 get started for intake, and then it's going to be $1,000 a month ongoing every month to follow up with me. Sound good? Yeah. Done. Boom. 50 people, they already love you, and they're already asking to work with you. No, I can't help you because I got a job. I'm sorry. But let's just say hypothetically you quit tomorrow. You had one-on-one sessions with them. 50 sessions. And let's say they're already asking to work with you. They're already sold on you. They're all ready to give you money. You already prove a concept to 50 people. You close half of them. Let's say one person says yes, one person says no. You're at 50-50. Not even good. If it was me closing it for you, you'd close at least 70-80%. But let's just say it doesn't go very well. You just close. Let's just say you close one and then you don't close one, right? You close one person says yes, one person says no, one person says yes, you see it 50-50, right? 50 one-on-one meetings, you close 25. $5,000 a piece times 25 clients is what? I'm not hearing a number. I didn't hear a number.
125,000.
Okay. You could literally have 5 one-on-one meetings in 1 week. In 4 weeks, that'd be 20. Okay. In 2 months, that'd be 40. In 10 weeks, that'd be 50. In 10 weeks, you could have 50 one-on-one meetings. And in 10 weeks, you can close half of them. Worst case scenario, it's 25. 25 times 5 is what?
That's 125.
$125,000 in 2 months. What's 125,000 times divided by 2?
62.
$62,000 a month. You're literally losing like you're losing about $54,000 a month right now. Because you think you got a good deal. Because you think you know your value. Because you think that this is the best that you can do right now. You're literally losing $54,000 a month. And 25 people are paying you $1,000 a month, Patrick. That's nothing. $1,000 is a nothing. Nothing. What's 25 times 1,000?
$25,000 easily.
A month. $25,000 a month going directly into your PayPal account, your Stripe account. 25 clients. You literally work with each client maybe 1 or 2 hours a week. But let's just say you work with each client 2 hours a month. 25 clients, that's 50 hours a month. Let's say you just work with each client 1 hour a week, worst case scenario, after intake. 25 clients times 4 is 100 hours a month. 25,000 a month for 100 hours of work. That means you get 2 weeks off every month. And you're at 25,000. You cut your workload in half and you triple your income. Because you decide to become the man. Because you decide to become the consultant here. Because you decide to start your own practice. What I'm telling...
And that's the direction. That's the direction that we would want to take. Just that, yeah, in the next months, we would like to apply the solutions that we have on a larger scale.
Okay, but to who?
Yeah,
to who? To Patrick?
His own business.
To whose business? Yours or theirs?
Well, it's building my personal brand.
What I'm trying to... it's the same situation with Tony. Tony is about 42 years old. Okay? Tony was ready for this 10 years ago. Tony came to me, oh, Thomas, I'm not ready. Tommy, I'm not ready. The fuck you're not. You are ready. Let's go. You're ready. You've been a certified John C. Maxwell trainer for 5 years. Your wife's been asking you, come on, Tony, get to work. Why don't you put yourself out there? No, honey, no, Daniil, I'm not ready yet. I said, no, you're ready. Let's go. $6,000 in a weekend. Boom.
Yeah, I understand.
Tony's just getting started. Okay. So we contact some CEOs to some sales companies. Okay. 6 clients at $1,000 a month apiece. He's literally making like $200, $300 an hour working with these guys. $200, $300 an hour. Easy. So I'm trying to say, you missed what I said. Look at the numbers, and when you review the tape, write that stuff down. Okay, I'm trying to tell you is that you literally have 125 grand in your back pocket right now. You should have got more excited. And I'm not even exaggerating. This is worst case scenario, Patrick. It's worst case scenario. And right now you easily already have a $25,000 a month income in your back pocket. You already have that. Okay. The only thing that's keeping you from having that right now is a belief that you have. You know who Warren Buffett is?
Yeah.
Warren Buffett's worth like how many billions of dollars?
80.
Is it 80 billion?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. 80 billion. You've made $1 billion, right?
No.
Do you know the difference between you and Warren Buffett? This is Pat. This is Warren. You know the difference? You both are very intelligent. You both are fully capable. The only difference is Warren Buffett decided to be his own man and be his own consultant and get his own clients. Duracell, Coca-Cola, Geico. He went out and got his own clients. His own clients consist of Duracell, the batteries, Geico car insurance, Dairy Queen, big companies. They're his clients. They're his businesses. That's the only difference. You already have clients like that on that scale, but you decide to be submissive and hand them over to somebody else. And the irony is that these clients, they would rather work with you one-to-one, but you're making them jump through hoops to work with you. Okay, Pat, if I have to work with you, if I have to go buy from this other company and not you just to work with you, I will. I'll jump through a hoop because I really like you. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know. Abby, is this making sense to you? So, here's the thing. I could never make the money that you make in farm consulting. I don't know nothing about that. That's your life's work, right? So, but I do understand business, and I do know how to turn you into a business, right? So I just want to let you know that. So I listened to everything that you said. So here's the thing. Right now, there are people that need your help, okay? And all you're doing is that right now, is that I understand your logic and I agree with you, as long as it's like a short-term thing. But right now, there's people right now that need your solutions, Pat, and you can't help them because you're attached to somebody else over here. And you're attached to somebody over here that's not paying you what you're worth. So I'm just letting you know that's what you have right now in your, for business. So right now there's hundreds and hundreds of people, Pat, that are making $10,000 a month consulting. Like I'm consulting part-time and I'm already nearly close to 6 figures a month. I'm just barely doing it part-time. I'm working like, well, I mean, this has taken up a lot of my time lately, but like I'm barely doing anything. So it's, and we live in a new age, Pat. We live in a new age where I can talk to somebody in the Philippines like this. Couldn't do this 30 years ago, you see? We're in a new age where people want information. People want to hire a consultant. Like consulting is in high demand. So that's basically one of what, so keep that in mind. Okay, all you're doing is that while you deciding to stay there at your job, and I understand based off your logic, you 100% agree with you. But what you're doing is every day you work there, not for yourself, you're literally losing around $1,000 a day. That's without exaggeration. Well, actually, yeah, let's say about $500 a day. Because I said $25,000 a month. You're at about $10,000-12,000 a month. So you're losing about $13,000 a month. Every month you decide to work with them. Oh, no, wait, it's actually $26,000, $25,000 because no, wait. Because if you actually had your own consulting practice, you only be working maybe about 20-30 hours a week. So you're actually losing a lot more than what I just mentioned. Okay, so now
aside from money and the stress.
Right. And the thing is, Pat, you're limited on time. The average person only lives to be about 78. Anything could happen any day. Okay, your time you can't get back. You can always make more money. They should be letting you work part-time and paying you what they're paying you. But anyways, and the only reason why they're not paying you more money is because you haven't made a fuss about it. If I actually sat down with you, taught you how to negotiate, they'd give you a raise like next week. But you're just not asking for it, and that's okay, because you're a very humble man. If it was me, I'd be getting about 15, 20,000 a month right now. Okay, but it's okay. You're doing just fine. You're fine where you're at. But the good news is that you have options. So then now, real quick, now I want to ask Abby a few questions to clarify before I show you what I have here. So, Abby, now you're in the agricultural industry too, right?
The same.
Okay, so you're basically doing the same thing that Patrick's doing.
Yes.
So you help you
Project is bigger than our project,
say it again.
except that they're handling bigger project than the project, because more of our clients are not on the turnkey project, but they are existing farms that we are just uh, supporting them with their immediate needs.
Okay, so you're basically doing the same thing that your husband's doing, but just on a smaller scale.
Yes.
So you're helping more out like this. Not you're like kind of like not in the big, but not in the small, but like right in the middle kind of thing.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So you and Pat have different targets.
Hmm.
Okay, but you and him are very knowledgeable in the same areas.
More or less, yes.
So I have a question for you. Would you be able to help somebody market? It's called. I've been doing a lot of research on this. It's called a market gardener, where they take their garden to the market and they sell their goods to stores and stuff.
You mean clients of us?
Well, I mean, like,
Say,
so there's a niche of people that have like a small farm,
Hmm.
but it's more like it's like a farm slash garden. And what they do is they take their small farm and they sell it to like grocery stores or to their local city. And they sell all their produce to local stores or to everybody in the city. And they have their own
Yeah.
like market garden kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
So do you have any clients like that?
There are some.
you're bigger.
Yeah, but what he's asking is if there's a garden. You mean the garden, vegetable
I think you're,
gardens?
you're referring to smaller producers.
Yeah.
But we are not at that level. We are still mainly on Abby's with medium-sized commercial farms. I'm with the large-scale commercial farms. So they all have their markets already.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is, let me clarify. So let's say, for example, there's somebody that has, I don't know, like 30 acres, right? And 40 acres, and they have like this giant garden, and they have acres of vegetables and acres of tomatoes, and acres of a giant garden, and the part of it's kind of like a farm too, right? And let's say they're doing around $5,000 a month in expenses, and they're doing around $10,000. So they're doing, let's say, $15,000 a month, and they got about $5,000 a month in cost, and they got about $7,000 a month in like net profit, and they have like maybe like 3 employees, or they have like 1 or 2 employees. Like, you follow me on that operation?
And you're saying that you want to try to network them and create a market.
No. What I'm asking is, do you have, Abby? Can you help people on a smaller scale where, let's say, they have like 30 acres and they're doing around 15,000 a month, and they have like 3 employees?
There are farms around
Yeah,
our area. Yeah.
Abby they supply equipment to these smaller farms a little bit over that scale.
Okay, so my question is, let's say for example, Abby, I was trying to start like this small farm, or this big garden of like 10, 20 acres, and I'm trying to get this going, and I got like $15,000 coming in every month, and half of his expenses. Can you like help me with that? Can you teach me how to grow that?
Um, it's not really the line that we're doing. Not yet the garden. Uh,
No. I think what you're referring to is on your existing business. which is your existing company. And right now, their company is a input supplier. So I don't see that your sales force are really coming in and affecting their operations. It's more of a transactional type of relationship wherein you come in and supply basic input.
So okay, so Abby, so you can help somebody run a garden or a farm more efficiently.
We will, if it is a garden business, maybe we will have to study still how
No, no, I
to
think
handle
he's
it.
referring to, because Abby and I both supply to pig farms.
Yeah,
And
not the plant or garden
yeah,
vegetable.
but Thomas is not literally referring to a garden, but more to a pig farm. And the scale that he's describing is more of a small scale operation. And he's asking, does your business today support these farmers to make business decisions and market decisions? Is that correct?
Right.
I
Okay.
think
So here's what I'm trying to ask. What I'm asking is, okay. So you both know a lot about farming, right?
yes.
Okay. So if somebody has, if somebody, let's say for example, if somebody's trying to start a farm, they're trying to start a farm, they're trying to learn how to start it from scratch and get to the $10,000 a month mark. Pat, you understand you can help them with that, right? You can teach them about farming and how to operate a farm, right?
Yes.
Let's say I had
I remember.
hold on just a second. Let's say I had $1 million. I say, Pat, help me start this farm from ground zero to 100,000 a month, and I'll give you $500,000. You could help me do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. I understand where you're at. I got you. Now I'm trying to get clarity on Abby here, because I want to make sure that I talk to you about this business correctly. So now, Abby, now let's say, for example, if I'm just trying to start a garden that's about 30 acres from scratch and I want to turn it into a $15,000 a month operation, could you help me with this small farm, this small garden, and could you help me kind of get things off the floor and get a business going?
You mean this is a
A pig farm.
lot of a pig farm or a combination?
Let's say, let's say there could be or not be no pigs on the farm.
No pigs on the
Let's,
farm.
let's just say there was no pigs. Let's say it was vegetables, it was tomatoes, it was cucumbers, and it was chickens and eggs.
Yeah, and we will have to develop this property to, to have this garden or vegetable farm. Is that
Yeah, could you help with that?
I think there is some confusion here. So currently Abby company is actually the same one with Patrick, which is actually the pig farm. But the gardening part, Abby is still like Abby has the passion for it, but Abby is like a beginner level. So she is not the one that is making like gardening full operation like that.
yeah?
So the gardening part is actually her own hobby and passion. She
Okay,
didn't
okay.
turn it into like a full operation like Patrick does.
Okay, okay. I'm just trying to understand because I gotta really understand where you're at so I can feed this to you, the plan and everything. I can make sense of how to make the money. Because
I remember. I know where you're coming from because I remember the last session we were saying that there are farms with areas wherein we can develop and they can put vegetables or trees so they can maximize the use of the property. I think that is where you're coming from.
yeah. Could you help with that?
Um, uh, Perhaps we can just
I think not ready.
yeah
So
because yeah we're just starting. We would just like to dispose initially the garden tools. That's why we came into
right,
this idea of the garden business. Yeah.
right. Okay, so you're saying is that so your expertise is more along the lines of Patrick's with the farming. Right.
Yes.
So you'd be more likely to help somebody start their farm from beginning to end than help somebody with like a garden.
We haven't we don't have any clients with the garden or vegetable farm yet, but there are areas in our like for example in the province, there are farms with they have existing garden or vegetable farms already.
Okay.
But what we would like to do is to promote these tools to them.
Right. Right. Okay. I got that, but I'm trying to figure out. So my question is, let's just say, for example, I wanted to start. Okay, two questions. I got a clarity on this. So let's say, for example, I have a small farm, chickens, you know, maybe some cows, and I have about 10 acres of vegetables and tomatoes and broccoli and mushrooms and got this mini farm operation going on. Could you help me with that?
No idea yet if we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Okay, that's okay. I'm trying to understand where you're coming. Okay, okay. All right, got it. Um, okay, so if you were just say if you were to consult somebody or help them with a problem, what would that be?
I think the garden business idea started only with the garden tools,
Right,
and yeah, initially we said that based from the garden tools, then we can promote it. Basically, how to use these tools.
right.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me, if I may add, the tools that we are supplying are not just basic. Apart from garden tools, they're a commercial grade, and our goal was to approach the large producers, banana and sugar cane, which is a very big market in the Philippines. And
Right,
what we wanted to do was to supply these commercial grade tools into their operations on a regular base.
right, right. No, no.
So we're not
I got that. I got that. I got that. I'm just trying to learn something else. I got that. I'm trying to figure out something else right now. So I'm trying to ask if somebody was gonna if somebody had a problem. Okay, could you advise them on in the farm and the gardening area? If somebody has a problem with something, what is something that you can advise them on?
About the gardening.
Okay, if somebody had a problem,
for Abby to answer only, or for me to answer as
oh
well.
well, I no, I'm trying to understand Abby. I'm trying to figure out. I want. I'm okay. I'm asking Abby. Abby, if somebody, what is a problem somebody has asked you help for, and you gave them advice?
Is it from our industry or for the garden business?
I'm just asking you. Generally, on a monthly basis, what are problems that you solve?
Because most of my time in our it's basically the same thing with the dealing with the customers. Doing more on the business side. Not really. I don't have a lot of time doing the garden. Uh, it's mostly on the weekend.
I
Okay,
think the
no, I understand that, but so what are some typical problems that you help solve? I'm just asking you, like, what are some problems you typically solve on a weekly basis?
Okay. Since the office we have is more on like Patrick said, we supply these equipments also to the pig farmers, and basically it's really running the operations. Whatever is the day-to-day business thing, concerns of the business employees and the customers. Uh, I also handle these things.
So you help manage the business and the customers and the finances.
Also overlook with the finances also, yes.
Okay, and which business is that you help with?
The company that I'm involved with.
And what kind of company is that? Is it a farming company? What kind of company is it?
The same thing like Patrick. It's the pig equipment company. It's a
Okay,
German company that we supply. We have this manufacturing plant here, the local plant here. It's a contracted plant, and the Germans transfer the technology to them. So we have this production. and we sell these products to the customers, to the pig farmers. And aside from that, we also do import of the accessories to the equipment.
Okay, so you're dealing with the equipment and handling the finances for the farming company, right?
Yes, the operation, the business operation. Yes.
Okay, okay, and you're dealing with the customer support. But as far as actually with dealing like with the farm directly, you're not working with the farm directly like Patrick is.
No, no.
Okay, okay. So if a farm needed some kind of business consulting, could you look at their finances and could you help them?
We have our own accountant. We just, they do the accounting.
He's asking if your customer has any financial problems. Can you help them?
Okay. Let's just say, okay, if a farm came to you and said, "Abby, I need your help. Abby, can you help me?" What is something you could help a farm with?
I don't think I can help them with their own operations.
But you can help with the finances and dealing with the customers.
Operations.
The customers of Abby already know what they want, and they want to use her product, and basically they just place an order.
Okay. There we go. I'm trying to understand that. Okay, so you're doing more customer support and dealing with the kind of like delegating of like the products go here, products go there, and you're dealing with the customers. You're doing more of the service department, right?
More on taking orders and fulfilling orders.
Yeah,
More transactional in nature.
Yes.
the service, because in any business you have marketing, sales, and service. So you're dealing with more of the service part of the business, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to find out. Okay, now I understand. Okay, so for example, if Patrick had his consulting business, okay, you'd be very good at dealing with like the customer support and dealing with the product that Patrick's selling, right? You'd be very good at handling the phone for Patrick, so Patrick could focus on the consulting. So for example, if Patrick had, let's say Patrick had 10 farmers that were interested in potentially working with him, right? You could have a one-on-one phone call and talk to them about Patrick, and you could deal with some of the customer service stuff.
Maybe collating all the informations that they would need, and handling all more on office,
Yes. Okay.
step with regards to the technical and operations of the clients. It's none of my business.
But you're good with dealing with customers, though. So I'm just saying. So for example, if Patrick had his own business, if Patrick had his own business, and let's say for example, Patrick had 10 appointments with 10 different farmers set up in his calendar, right? So what you could do is you could have that one-on-one meeting with the farmer for like 15, 20 minutes to see if they're a good match for Patrick, right?
Yes.
To see if they're a good fit, and then you can pre-sell them on Patrick so they can get prepared for the meeting for Patrick, right? You're just dealing with the customer support.
Yes.
Right, and then if you I think you're a good fit for my husband. I think he can help you. I'll set up an appointment with you with him.
Yeah.
You're good with dealing with customers.
You mean to screen this client's needs and
Right, you're good at that. You can do that.
yes.
Okay, because ideally, if you're running your own consulting practice, Patrick, it would be very easy to send you farmers from the United States, from China, to your site and schedule appointments with you. Like that can be done, right? It'd be easy to get you appointments every day, globally.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Patrick, you wouldn't be on the phone. You'd be busy working with your clients.
Yes.
You follow me? Your wife would be on the phone working on closing the deal for you. So when the deal is closed, you can then consult. You should not be on the phone closing deals or doing customer support. Your time is best leveraged doing what Patrick does best, which is consulting the farmers.
Yes.
You see where I'm going here?
Yes.
Okay. Because, literally speaking, because for example, if we ran an ad on Facebook to farmers pages, different farming groups, which would be very easy to do. Okay, we put ads in front of farmers and all over the United States, China, wherever you want to target, Asia, whatever country you want to target, whatever. We could literally have people, farmers, clicking on your ad, looking for a one-on-one consultation with you, right? Could literally get you like 5 appointments a day, to the point you couldn't even handle the workload because you got so many clients going on. You have to turn people away because you already got 30 clients paying you $1,000 a month, so you can't handle no more work. It wouldn't be hard to do. It'd be so easy to do, it wouldn't be funny. But what I'm getting at here, I was trying to figure out how I can help the two of you work together. That's what I was trying to see here. So for example, if you were selling a course on farming, right? How to make your farm more efficient from beginning to end. Here's a 100-hour course on how to re-innovate your farm. Here's my 20 years of expertise put down on 100 hours of video. The course is $3,000, right? So you get 5 appointments a day being booked. 5 appointments a day being booked. Okay. Okay, and you have Abby closing one person every day on a $2,500 product. Okay, on one course is $2,500 a day. Okay, times 10 is 25,000. Okay, in 10 days, 50,000 in 2 weeks, 75,000. Okay, over the month, 30 sales. 30 sales of 2,500 is 75K, right? 10, 20, yeah, $75,000. One sale a day on a $2,500 farming course. Okay, the problem is you'd be consulting them on your course on the weekend, right? And then Abby would be dealing with the emails and the phone calls. When you can focus on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, giving one-on-one feedback through like conference calls. And these people are taking your automated course that has 100 hours of pre-recorded video. So they're getting 100 hours of your time for $2,500. And all you got to do is give them a couple hours of support every week to help implement your training. You see? So you literally giving them 100 hours of pre-recorded training that took you 20 years to perfect, and they're getting it on autopilot. And all you got to do is just give some support on the weekends. Okay. All right, good. So does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Does it make sense, Patrick?
Yeah, it's very logical.
So ideally, what happens when you start a consulting practice, you do your consult, like for example, like for Tony, for example, okay, we're going to have this 12-week program, okay, that teaches you the front gunner selling system. It walks you through a complete sales process. It's like 12 weeks of training. Tony's going to teach all of it live to a group of people live, and then he's going to record it, okay? And then when it's all done and recorded, all the training's recorded, then we package it up and put it so they can just be sold. And then now your coaching package, your service is now automated. And then now you sell the product. Make sense? Follow me?
Yes.
So there's a lot of people doing this all over the place on the internet. So that's where I'm getting at with that. And then also, yes, selling the gardening tools 100%. Because you, Patrick, you have the farming business, and Abby, you have the gardening business. You see? You kind of have two separate things, but they can also work together. You follow me? So Abby, you can do your gardening business. You can sell some advice on gardening. You can sell products on gardening. You can sell your own book on gardening. You can sell your own information product in gardening, like I showed you. You can sell your own tools in gardening. You can sell seeds, t-shirts, the whole shebang. Okay. And then eventually you could also help Patrick launch his consulting practice. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. I want to ask you a question now. So how many hours a week? Okay. So for Patrick, so you can't consult nobody right now because it would go against your non-compete clause, right? So you can't consult nobody right now, correct?
Well, the expectation is that all my hours are put into the company, so they wouldn't agree that I do anything else.
So so you work Monday through Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say on a Saturday, somebody wanted to hire you to give them 5 hours consulting for like 12 for $2,000. Could you take that?
Uh, I think that would be acceptable.
Okay, so you're saying is that if you got a client on the weekend, you could actually consult them on their farm? Or no?
It doesn't eat into my 5-day work schedule. Yes.
Okay, so okay, cause I'm trying to figure out how to help you. I'm trying to understand the situation. Because it does no good for me to show you a complete business plan and everything if I don't know where you're going, where you're at. So you're saying is that, so you're saying you actually could do your own consulting practice on the side, as long as it doesn't interfere with what you're doing with your job.
Yes.
Okay, so I have another question for you. If you had some of these people give you a testimonial, let's just say, for example, let's say you have some clients that work with you, but now they're also working with your company. Could they, and let's just say they don't pay you for consulting, which is bad, no, right? Which would be going against the compete clause. But let's just say they give you a testimonial. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay, so if I created a website for you, you could get their testimonials and they could put it in the website and they could be like, oh yeah, Patrick helped me out with this on my farm. But as long as they're not consulting you, that's okay. Is that right?
So I think the company would agree that I get compensation for consulting as long as it doesn't eat into my work week.
Okay,
My
so just
5-day work week.
okay, now just to clarify, because I'm getting really excited because I could really help you out a lot because you have skill. Okay, I'm just like so I'm just trying to figure out I can actually help you the right way because I don't want to get you in trouble or something.
Why do you have to tell your company that you are doing consulting on the side? Just be
Uh,
quiet.
well,
Debbie.
no, I would not like that they against me later on if they find out. The best approach is just to be open, and I just tell my boss, I have opportunity to do consulting. Do you agree? I would like that he knows everything on the level, rather than he finds out later on that I have the second.
Right. Give me a
But
high five.
you
Give me a
know,
high five, Patrick.
you know,
No, but I agree with Debbie though. I agree with Debbie though.
I appreciate the right honesty, and we need to be honest people. But from my experience, right, because a lot of my friends is actually doing that. They are doing something on the side, and then they have to sign the agreement when they join the company, like conflict of interest, and then you cannot do anything on the side or something like that. And then in the beginning, when you are asking for permission, then they will question you a lot of things. They will question about your commitment. They will question about what exactly you are doing, and they probably want to get some kind of effect that if something's wrong happening in your current job in the future,
Mhm.
then they can use that as reasons to against you. Do you get me?
Yes, yes.
Right,
Mm.
Debbie.
Why
See,
don't you just start the consulting first for a few months and then see if it is actually workable, and then when it's actually workable and then you get some returns, then after that you can make a decision whether you want to stay in the company and tell them the truth, or whether you just say goodbye. I don't know, I just like thinking about it.
no, I agree with Debbie. Debbie's right on point. Debbie, see, when Debbie speaks, you have to listen.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with Debbie.
Yeah,
100%.
we're a very small industry, and once I start anything, word will get around very, very
Yeah.
quickly. And especially, if I'm just looking back, there were at least 6 companies that wanted to sign me on, and they all know each
I'm
other.
getting frustrated. I think I need to take a break.
So
I'm
if,
getting
if,
frustrated.
if one of them tells the other that, hey, he signed on with me, then the other guys will say, hey, he didn't sign on with me. So
Then they can all sign on with you. They can all sign on with you.
Yeah, but also they they do talk to the people in our company, so our company will find out very, very quickly. It's not something you can keep a secret.
Oh no, 100%. Because who you are, you're a local celebrity.
What if
Okay.
Go ahead, Debbie. Debbie, go
what if
ahead.
yeah, what if like not really exactly complete consulting of the farm, but at least niche of the concern of each farm. Like for example, uh, how to choose the right breed for the farm, for the right the breed, the pigs, the
The genetic
genetics.
program.
Yeah, that's one topic that he can just not really the complete pig farming
It
business.
doesn't matter whether it's in full or partial. As long as you're giving the service, it will be known very quickly.
Right. And to clarify, Patrick, you can help out with the whole farm, right? Not just pigs.
Yes, nutrition, genetics, health, facilities, management, finance.
Okay. Okay, you're a full stack. That's amazing. You're a full stack.
That's why they
Okay.
don't like to let him go.
Okay. What they're doing is, okay, listen. I have a book coming out. It's called Negotiate Your Mark: How to Negotiate Your Salary on Your Terms. Okay. I have a book coming out. I'm working on it. Okay, I already did that. I'm getting everything transcribed. Okay, listen. What they're doing is they're making you always feel like they have altitude on over you in the deal. And what they're doing is, by doing this, it keeps you stay locked in and makes you question your own ability if you actually can do anything without them. That's number one. Number two, they stroke you on your head and pat you on your shoulder, and knowing that you're a gracious guy, so you feel good about your current salary.
Yeah, I'm familiar with those kind of practices.
You are really you are. What's really great about you are a very humble man. That comes across great. That's why people like you. They find you very trustworthy and believable, and they really like you. I can sense that already. I'm just over here. So okay, so to move on from this now. So the thing is, everything what Debbie said, because here's ideally what would happen. Okay, listen, Patrick, nobody gives a shit about who you are. In consulting, nobody cares about your degree. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your award. Nobody cares. There's only one thing people care about in consulting. RESULT, result. If they can believe that you are proof of concept, I'm not proof of concept of the farming. There's no way in hell I could ever sell that. You can. Okay, you have proof of concept. You can prove that you can get this result. That's what they care about. So by you getting 10, you said 30 testimonials. If you got 20 testimonials and put that on the website, it'd be very easy to get you a client. Very easy. Okay, there's specific sales scripts that you use for high ticket closing. Okay, okay, so, but here's the thing though, as you said, it's that compete clause thing. Okay, now touching base on what Debbie was saying is that I think if you're going to ask these people for testimonials, if you didn't, you could keep it on the hush-hush because nobody's really going to know. But ideally, to make you money now and fast is to get you clients where you can sell locally. Okay? It would not be hard to get you 10 people giving you some money every month. It wouldn't be hard to do at all. Okay? But if we weren't doing it locally, then I'd go more Debbie's strategy, just keep it under wraps. Right? If we weren't asking for testimonials or that, nobody really ever would know. But we're going to be getting your traffic locally, and we're going to be asking for testimonials. Because just like what I'm teaching Debbie, I'm trying to get Debbie to work her list. Debbie has 2,600 students in Udemy. We just get 26 people out of 2,600 to give her $100 a month. That's like 0.5% conversion rate. It's $2,600 a month. We work with your list to get you to $5,000, $10,000 a month. You have that money coming on the side while you're working. So that's ideally. So what I would do is, if we did this, that you would get testimonial. The first thing you do is get testimonials from people. Okay. The second thing I do is we're going to write a mini book that people can read through, right? And you can write a book in a weekend. It's not hard to do. Very easy to do when you understand how to do that. Okay. And then we give them that book, and we go on and setting up a one-on-one session with them. The thing is this. I believe, one, if you're not taking money out of your job's pocket, you should be okay. Number two, as long as you're not bad-mouthing them and saying, well, don't work with them, work with me. Okay? And number three, as long as you're not interfering with the service with your job. Follow me? Number three things. And number four, you position your practice as a way to help your boss make more money.
Yes.
So you say, listen, your boss says, hey, Pat, I see your website over here, farmingconsulting.com. I see you have this business going on over here. What's this all about? Are you trying to compete with us? Are you going to cost us money? What's going on here? Tell me about it. And you simply dance with his concerns. It's called dancing with concerns. You simply say, well, I understand, sir, that you were concerned, and I already thought about this, and I was actually going to talk to you about this. I didn't have a chance yet. But I want to let you know that I've took on some people who have been asking me for help, and I can't just say no. That'd be the wrong thing to do. So I said yes, and I helped them. And at the same time, I'm getting them ready to be able to invest in our company. So they're paying me to consult them on the side, and I plan on upselling them into our packages at the office. So I'm bringing you extra work on the weekends. Is that okay? Does that work?
I cannot answer on behalf of my boss how he would take it.
I understand. But what do you think?
I think that would not work out very well.
And why do you think that?
I think they still want to have full control, not control. They want full results delivered to their company. Because like right now, I do a lot of consulting together with the products that we're selling. Like you were saying in our previous call, it's like giving them free services. That also helps them to close the deal, because now instead of just buying a facilities and equipment package, they're getting a consultancy service for their whole operation. And I've seen in many of our deals, they signed on because of that value that I was delivering.
But what if these consulting people you took on, what if these clients took on for consulting, you made sure that if they had the opportunity to buy the package over there and the equipment, that they did?
Yes.
Then would that be okay?
I would have to discuss that with my boss.
My question is, where's the problem here?
Personally, I could do.
Because my question is, where's the problem here? Is the problem is that you're taking money out of their pocket, correct? That's the potential problem, right?
No. The issue would be, I think it has never been in the approach of the company that you could have a second job.
So you're saying that there could be a problem if you just had a second job on the weekend.
Yes, it's part of the corporate culture that they don't allow that you go on a second job.
Debbie, what do you think about that?
I think that there actually will be a lot of possibility. The first, there are two things, right? If you are asking for permission, the first one is they probably will think about your commitment to the company because they don't want to interfere. And then the second one is that if they say no, means your means you cannot do anything exactly. You cannot start anything until you quit the company, which is actually not workable, right? But the second option, which is actually to keep quiet and then just do it, there is actually a word on the business philosophy mentioning like it's better to say sorry than to ask for permission.
I know that very well.
So basically, um, from my own opinion, I don't know about your current situation right now in your company. I think you can actually do start something, and then if it is workable for you, and then they figure it out, then you can ask like, "Oh, I apologize for that. I didn't know." But at least you already get the results, right? You're already starting something. If you're asking for permission right now, they can make up a lot of story for you to not start it, like it will interfere with your current job, and then they will probably afraid that the consulting company that you are doing the consulting with, they will try to steal you. Do you get me? So for example, if you are in the company A right now, and then you are actually having a network with the people from the company B, and then you tell this to your boss, and then your boss will think like, the company B will trying to steal Patrick away. You get me? And the good thing is that if you are asking for sorry, right? If you are apologize for them, I strongly believe that they will forgive you anyway because you are important.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie is 100. Okay, so exactly what, okay, look at this. Pat, I'm not kidding when I said 20 minutes ago, you literally have $125,000 in your back pocket. That's conservative. I'm not even kidding. You know, remember what your wife said to you in our last meeting? Your wife said, she said to me, she goes, and hi, Abby, right there. Your wife said, she said, hey, Thomas, if Patrick was on stage, what could he sell? Remember when Abby said that? If you were on stage and they walked you to the back, when you went into the back, and 20 people walk to the back to talk to you, you schedule an appointment with 10 of them, and then you close 5 of them. Worst case scenario, 5 times 25 is what? 12, like $13,000 for one speaking gig. And then you have a passive income from each of those farmers every month. So what Debbie is saying, okay, look, one of two ways to go about this. Okay, look, either one, you be submissive. You go walk up to your boss right now and you say, hey boss, hey boss, whatever his name is, Jerry. Hey Jerry, hey, I met this guy named Thomas. Debbie introduced him to me, and he's doing this thing called $1 Million Mark, and he's really smart, and he's telling me how people have been asking me to consult them one-on-one for years. I kept saying no. But now Thomas is a potential business partner, and he's telling me how I can actually get compensated for helping these people and help them out with their problems and have my own consulting. Hold on. Well, watch. And then you go talk to your boss, and your boss says this, like Debbie was saying. Then your boss says, Pat, that's cool. If you can make an extra $5,000 a month on the side, that's pretty cool. But Pat, I think, I don't know if I like that idea, because now you're like working with somebody else, and now you're not working with us. What if you decide to work with your business partner full time? Like we can't afford to lose you. So how about you just continue just to focus with us, right? And we'll even maybe pay you some more money if you want. So we don't think you should do that right now, because we need you right now. We're trying to network with all these big players and everything. We don't want you to go getting your own clients. We want you to focus on us. We don't think you should do that. So now, and they said, no, we just want you to work with us. So don't do that. No, watch. Or you do B. You do your thing, you get this thing going, and you make sure you don't break no rules along the way. You don't talk bad about them. You don't undermine them. You don't take clients that are paying them and paying you at the same time. No. If you have a client, you make sure that they're not an existing client with them, and they never were. Like they're not even working with them. Completely ties cut completely. So if they do come to you, it has nothing to do with them, and they're not affecting them at all. And The next thing is, if you have the opportunity to upsell them, you upsell them to your company. Okay, so even when you start talking to them before they even pay you, in your one-on-one free strategy session, you tell the farmer, you tell them this. You say, okay, you got a farm? Here's where you're at with your farm. Here's where you want to be with your farm. I can help you fix this. Okay, you want me to help you increase your profits to 20%? I can do this. But if you become a client of mine, if I help you increase your profit margin, help you run more efficiently, if I help you lower costs, help you increase profit, if I help you do this, then you have to promise me that you commit to buying the machinery from my company that I work for. So before I take you on as a client, I want to make sure that's clear. That if I help fix your farm, you will indeed invest your money in machinery with the company I work for. Is this a deal? So now you get that up with your client up front from day one. So now all you're doing, you're actually helping your company on the weekend. You're helping your job on the weekend, helping your boss. You do it like that, then the only thing you're doing is you're helping. You're doing extra work for your boss on the weekend. Because on the weekend when you're consulting, you literally are creating a customer for your boss that never would have happened if you didn't work on that Saturday. So the only thing you're doing is you're helping.
What if let's say because it's online business, one of their clients discovered that he's doing it online, and somebody mentioned it to their company. Can he say that he has this business, or can we rather say that is his wife's business?
Right. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. I understand your guys' concern, but here's the deal. Let me ask you a question. Hey, Debbie, I have a question for you. Debbie, who has the altitude in this deal? Who has the altitude in this situation, Patrick or his boss?
Patrick?
Got it. Patrick, you are the man. Patrick, you're coming from a frame of mind. Oh, I don't want to lose my job, or my boss is above me. You're the one that's running the show. You're the man. You're the one that brings in the money.
The issue is on integrity, and that's where I struggle, because I don't want. I've always run my personal brand where there's not a shade of doubt on the level of integrity that I have. Admittedly, in our business, there are a lot of consultants who have what you say vested interests in the recommendations that they give, as in they are endorsing several products where they get actions. And once your brand is tainted with that practice, then it is very difficult to undo.
Okay. And I love this about you, because you can sense this integrity coming from you without you even saying it. But let me ask you a question. What would you be doing based off what me and Debbie said, as long as you set up your consulting practice to not work with any clients that are paying them, and you promise to upsell their service once you make a client need that need? Where are you hurting anybody's integrity here?
Yeah, then there will be now a question on the side of our management. They're now paying you, but you are the one in charge of setting the pricing and margins for the deals with these clients. So now, where is your loyalty? Is it with the client or is it with us?
How long have you been working with them for?
4 years.
If they can't trust you now, will they ever trust you?
Well, I just didn't want to have any shadow of a doubt.
100%. 100%, no doubt.
Well, why is it a question about loyalty? Why is it a question about loyalty?
Because now you have a potential customer and you are on a consultancy service with them. So they're paying you, so they effectively have some level of influence over your decisions. or that would be what the management of my company would suspect.
Okay.
If let's say you are trying to do consulting using all the resources that the company are having, the system, the product, the services, the manpower, then it's probably you are actually taking advantage of the company, right? But now you have 20 years of experience and you have your own personal brand, your own knowledge, your own program, your own system that you learn by yourself outside the company, right?
Right.
So when you are trying to do consulting or teaching other people, you are not using the company resources, but you are using your own knowledge and idea, customizable for their problem, not based on the company A, but based on the company B. So whatever problems that they are having, you go there as a friend, as someone that can help them, and it has nothing to do with company A at all. And you are doing this outside the working hours, which means you are actually investing your time for learning about something new outside the working hours, and you get paid for it, which is actually better, right?
Debbie, I agree with you up to that point
Yeah.
completely. There's no conflict up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Where the conflict will come is once I make the recommendation
Mm-hmm.
for the use and purchase of equipment from my existing company, then the question will be, did you sell to that customer at the full potential margin, or did you compromise the price because that they are paying you?
Oh, I got it. But it will only happen if you are actually upgrading them to the next level, right? If you are
Yeah,
actually offering your current company product and services, right?
yeah,
But in the early stage, when you are trying to become their early consultant, you don't really have to recommend anything, right? It can
yeah,
be just trading your time trading your time for money in the beginning, right?
yes.
Yeah.
That
So
up to
yeah,
that part is perfectly okay.
yeah. Yeah, so basically what Thomas just now say is that this is what will happen if let's say you want to get permission for your boss, you can use this and then upgrade them to the next level to buy the product from company A. But if you doesn't want to do that, if you just want to do consulting based on your own knowledge and you can create your own system or your own book, then it's actually not conflict of interest.
That is perfectly okay up to that point. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can start.
Okay. Now back on. Okay, I put my hand up because I didn't want to interrupt Debbie. She has a very good point. I put my hand up. I don't want to. Okay, exactly. Okay, you see, remember when I talked about you about 30 minutes ago about awareness? We're making you aware of an opportunity that's in front of you, Patrick. Okay, isn't it amazing? You're getting all these hours without having to give me 20 grand. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Like this is what you should have been getting last year from those people that you paid. Anyways, look, what Debbie was just saying. There's a website called consulting.com. It's owned by Sam Ovens, a guy that is in his 30s that is literally doing $1 million a month selling consulting. Okay. Now,
One of
now,
my
now, now hold on, wait, watch. Now watch, if I worked with this guy, if I worked with this consulting company, right? And Sam Ovens taught me all of his training. He taught me how to be this amazing salesperson consultant, and now I can close deals left and right. And now I'm his partner. But all of a sudden, me and him get into an argument, I say goodbye, well, I'm not gonna work for you no more. Then I go create my own website called Sam Ovens Consulting.
we lost Thomas.
So I'm back. Hi. So then I go create a website. It's called Sam Ovens Consulting Assistant.com. And now I'm in direct competition with Sam Ovens and his website consulting.com. I say, hey, my name's Thomas, and I trained underneath Sam Ovens. Don't buy his training for $2,000, buy mine for $1,000. And you learn the exact same thing. And then I get clients. Now, Debbie, is that shiesty? Is that messed up? Now, What Debbie's trying to say is you're not doing that. It's not like you went work for this company for 2 years, learned all of their training, and then left and tried to sell all their services for half the price. You didn't do that. You brought your expertise to them so they could succeed.
Yes.
And now you're using your personal brand that has nothing to do with them to get you compensated rightfully so. That's what you're saying, right, Debbie? Debbie, that's what you're saying?
I think we lost Debbie.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you see? So look. And again, okay, here, watch this. Because I understand, Patrick, this is great. This is a very important conversation. Because I can't show you what I made for you until this is cleared up. If I want to help you get to 20K, 30K, 40K a month consulting, I can't do that if you have these concerns. Okay, look.
Understand.
So look, watch this. And these are really good concerns. These are very, 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 very good things to talk about. So let's just watch this. Watch this. Hot seat. Watch. Let's just say, for example, let's say I have a farm right now. Okay, and let's say I live in the Philippines, which I wish I kind of went there. It was nice there. But anyways, let's say I was down there, all right, we're all hanging out, and I have a farm down there. And let's say, for example, I've heard about your company and all that stuff, but I just can't afford their services, right? I can't afford $100,000 in equipment right now. But I say, hey, Pat, you think you could help me out with my farm? And you're like, yeah, but I work for this company over here, so I don't know if I can help you. I say, hey, Pat, if you can help me with my farm, help me fix my production errors so I can make more money, I will be more than happy to spend $300,000 on farming equipment. If you can just get me past the 6-figure mark to like almost a 7-figure mark, if you can help me increase my revenue by 20% in the next 6 months, I promise you I will invest in that equipment with you guys. I'm gonna need to buy the equipment anyways. But unfortunately, even if I wanted to give your company $500,000, I can't. But if you can help me fix my problem that I'm having now, that's preventing me from moving forward, and consult me, I tell you what, I'll give you 10 grand right now. I'll give you the 10 grand I have in my savings account right now and be broke, so you can help me become profitable. And then once you help me become profitable, I'll be more than happy to invest in $500,000 in equipment, as long as you give me the green light and it's okay and it makes sense. So do we have a deal or not? Will you help me or no?
That can be arranged, yes.
Just say no. Just say no. Say I can't help you.
Okay.
Just say no. Say, Thomas, I can't help you because I'm afraid that I might lose my job because my job doesn't like me working on the weekends. Tell me that right now. Say that to me, please.
I think it can be arranged. Yeah.
You know, say it. I'll just say it just to see how it feels.
If it's just a role play, yeah. No, sorry, Thomas, I can't.
Why can't you help me, Patrick? Why can't you help me on a Saturday? Why not?
Well, my company will not agree to it.
So I can't give you 10 grand right now for 1 day's of work.
Yeah.
So then I got to just sit over here with my farm that I might have to sell because you can't help me on a Saturday. What do you think, Abby? What do you say, Patrick?
That's not what we want.
Abby, what do you think? What do you think?
We'd like our customers to grow.
You see? There's a thing that you need to look up. It's called David Maslow's hierarchy of needs. One need cannot arise until a previous need is met. So while you have in your own consulting practice on the side, you're actually meeting your clients' needs to help them need the service your company's selling.
We've done that many times.
When you're not at work?
When I was at work, I went to these large farms and I showed them where to get the money to save on their operations to be able to upgrade to our solutions.
Debbie, what do you think Patrick's going to be doing with his consulting business?
Actually, I don't see what's the problem exactly, but I understand about the integrity part and the loyalty part, but I don't really see that it's actually like the biggest problem that you have right now.
No. Okay, Pat, no, Debbie. Pat just said that he does this all the time. He fulfills their need right now by giving them consulting, so then they can need their service later on. So if Patrick's doing that now, if Patrick ran his own consulting practice, would he be doing something similar?
If Patrick is doing his own consulting practice, and then what? What did you say?
So if Patrick is consulting farmers and helping them be more efficient so that they will then eventually need the equipment that he's selling, that's what he's doing now, then what would Patrick be doing if he had his own consulting practice?
Same.
Actually, he's doing it an extra mile already for his company. It's not really part of his job, but he's doing it for the company.
But my question is, Debbie, if Patrick would be having his own consulting practice, what would he be doing?
It's the same thing.
Debbie?
It's the same thing, right?
Patrick?
Yes, it's very much similar.
Are you starting to feel more confident about taking on your own clients now?
In terms of doing the work and the recommendations, that I have no doubt. It's just that I was building my brand, as I said earlier, to a much higher level, because I want to work with the bigger players and not with the small players.
Isn't it will be it's an advantage also for his company?
Let me ask you a question. What would help your brand more? Working with a client one-to-one for 6 months, and the person saying on stage, I worked with Pat for one-on-one for 6 months, and half a year, he took my farm from from 20,000 a month to 50,000 a month within 6 months. And it only cost me 10 grand. I literally made, what did I say? 100,000 a month to 150,000 a month in 6 months. I literally 10 times my investment in 6 months. You can't do that nowhere else in the world with your money. Nowhere. Can't do it in stocks, can't do it in real estate, can't do it in gambling.
Yeah, but what I want to do is, rather than working with these smaller scale farms, is go to the large integrated operations. For example, one operation I worked with, on one day, I showed them a program where they could save $40 million a year every year. That was a one-day program. And those are the ones I want to work with and achieve on a much larger scale. So when I market myself later on, it will be all at top-level corporations rather than smaller operations.
Okay.
Because it's always easy to show improvement in smaller, less efficient operations.
100%.
Improvement in very large, high-level corporations, that's where you separate the men from the boys, so to say.
Right.
Exactly. From any other consultant to a very high-level consultant. That's what I'm after. I don't want to start doing small consultancies, then trying to sell myself up the corporate ladder to these bigger outfits. I want to start at the top and then work from there.
Then the rest will follow.
Because I also have my former staff who I can take on to replicate myself and do that for the smaller companies.
Okay. We're getting somewhere now. Replicate myself. You got it. Okay. Okay. I have a question for you. What's the biggest farm you've worked with? What's the biggest farm you've consulted?
That one was about 45,000 sows. The biggest farm in our country.
That you consulted with.
Sorry.
The biggest farm that you consulted with.
Yes, that's San Miguel Corporation.
Okay. And how much do they make?
On the recommendations I made them just on the feeding program, that saved them. They didn't implement it. That's the problem. And a lot of it had to do with politics. If they implemented it, it would have been $40 million a year in pure savings.
Okay. So we can't use that. We can't use that as a testimonial, right? We can't use that.
Yes. One company I worked with, a smaller one, only 3,000 sows. They save $500,000 every year. They implemented my program.
So you consulted them, you went to the farm, and you consulted them in person.
Yes.
And you helped them save $500,000 a year.
Yes.
You're getting paid $10,000 a month. What the
Will
fuck?
it be possible if, let's say, you are waiting for the right moment, which is actually getting all these high-level connection and then starting your own 2 years later, you will also be probably scared. Do you get what I mean? Because you never tried to do everything by your own.
No. I have no doubt in my mind on being able to conceptualize, design, and implement, because I've done that for so long. That no fear of that one.
So what me and Debbie are saying to you, you can understand that it can work.
Yes.
Okay. This is why I like talking to people that get it. Now here's the thing. I know what Debbie's getting at. Okay, look. So my other question. So is there a farm that if you contacted and said, hey, you know what? Remember that time I helped you with your farm and I helped you save like $300,000? Would you mind sitting down with me and doing an interview and kind of like just saying like on the record, like on video or audio, how I helped you? Would you mind giving me like a review or some feedback that I could share?
No, they would do it for me. Actually, we have formed already such strong friendships through the years that they would gladly do it for me.
So I have a question for you. What if you sat down with a farmer, okay, that you helped save $200,000 and you did a video recording and you recorded it, and let's say it was a 45-minute interview. Say, hey, I would like to sit down with you and interview you. Tell me about where you were with your farm before we worked together. Tell me about some of the problems you had, and then just share with me exactly how you got to where you are now today, so the people that are watching this video that have their own farm can learn from you, and so you can help them with their farms. So share us with what happened.
Yeah.
Do you know somebody would be willing to do a little interview with you that would help other farmers?
Yes.
Now let me ask you a question. If I'm sitting at home and I have my own farm and I'm struggling, I'm working 80 hours a week and I'm making $5,000 a month, but I'm working 80 hours a week and I have bills up the ass, and then I'm able to watch your interview on your website that's 45 minutes long, watch you interview somebody that you helped save $200,000. After I watch that 45-minute interview, do you think I want to sign up and work with you in a session? Do you think I'm going to want to sign up for a one-on-one free strategy session? Do you think I will be sold after watching that interview for half an hour, 45 minutes? Okay. What I'm trying to say, me and Debbie are trying to tell you, what Debbie's trying to tell you, but she's saying it nicely, I'm going to say it more in your face. You already are qualified to take on the big gigs and the big farms. You already have the credentials. You just told me that you just told me one person that's a big farm that is willing to give you an interview. And any other big farmer out there that's doing $1 million plus that watches that is going to want to at least talk to you first for a consultation. Which means you already have everything you need to get the big players.
Yes.
You're just delaying.
It's a very small network. Everyone knows each other in our business. And
Good.
It's basically by word of mouth that once you've proven yourself in one large company, now they just talk and then you're leveraged.
Have you proven yourself that you can help a big farm?
Yes, we started
Okay.
from ground zero, from site selection, design, implementation, project management, to operations. They're now the top for farm in Asia.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. So then if you already are proven to help the small farmer, the medium farmer, the big farmer, then why are you delaying your success to be able to be home with your wife 40 to 50 hours a week? Why are you delaying that to have that with her? It's a simple question.
Hard questions.
I say that because I could see that that's what you guys really want. Okay, so you follow me. So me and Debbie are basically trying to tell you that you're ready to do this, that you're good to go. You're just delaying. You're just delaying. And what I think you should do what Debbie said. You should do what Debbie said. Take it one step at a time. And when you get your first client that pays you $5,000 cash, you are going to shit a brick. Well, hopefully not. That would hurt. That'd be bad.
Actually, I think on top of the negative things that might be happen, right? Like your boss might know, and then after that they will let you go and so on. There is actually so many positive things that can possibly happen if you do it.
No, I know that one of my colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
he left corporate and went into consulting. He's doing $220,000 a year, and most of that is coming from his company that he used to work with. So in the same case that I have, most likely the company I work with will continue to keep me on a consultancy base, which would also allow me to entertain other clients.
Got it. Boom shakalaka. You're catching on.
No, I knew that already for time. It's just that I didn't want to go into the consultancy services because, it was a struggle to always try to be selling myself.
No, what are you doing right now? 5 days a week. What are you doing? Debbie, what is Patrick doing 5 days a week? What's he doing? Is he selling ice cream cones out of an ice cream machine? What's he doing?
Solving problem, consulting.
What are you already doing? The only problem is you're a consultant that's being paid 1/10 of what you're worth.
I think it's not on an online thing. You can do
But here's the
it really,
No, the going online is just to get you the sales into the sales funnel. Then you do your service and you do your work on site because there's a lot of things that would need physical visits.
and people are already doing that online. The websites I showed you, they're doing that. They're charging a fee to go see your farm. They charge them a visit the farm. They charge fees to go to the farm.
Yes.
But 90% of the consulting can be done like this. You can show pictures, you can show video, you can show everything from here. I can show you pictures of my whole backyard on here and everything.
Right.
Like I can show you.
You only do the physical inspection to set the program, and then you monitor them online. I told you to do this. Where are you now? What problems are you having? This is how you solve it, so on and so forth. Coaching
And here
comes online.
Correct. And here's the thing. And it's a lot of clients you may not even have to go there in person because you just tell them, hey, this is what I need to see. Show me this on your farm. Show me this on your farm. Somebody can literally walk outside with their phone and just show you the whole farm. Literally walk you through everything.
Yes.
They can show you everything. It would be nice to be there, but you don't have to.
Right.
And here's the thing. What I'm trying to, the business plan that I have made out for you specifically is for you. All you're going to do is get your clients where you're at, and you're just going to send them to your website for the booking and the closing and to collect the revenue. That's all you're doing. So for example, you get your clients in your network to go to your website, to schedule an appointment with you on your calendar that's pre-made, and the scheduling is automated with Calendly or Time Trade, one of the two. They book an appointment with you. They get on a video chat with you like this from your website, and you talk to them. And then you close them on a free strategy session, and once you close them, then you can literally, since you're closing them and they're in your network, after you close them, then you can literally go to their farm and consult them one-on-one. We're just using the website as a medium to do the selling for you, because see, here's the beauty of it. See, the website, when they go to your website and they go to your homepage, they see you on video, they see your testimonials on your website, they see all your testimonials, they can watch your video testimonials. If you've done an interview with somebody for 40 minutes, they can watch the interview testimonial on your website. So the person will spend like an hour going through your website before they book a call with you. So when they schedule an appointment with you, Pat, they're like freaking out. They're so excited they can't wait to talk to you because your website did all the selling for you. So your website is just meant as a tool to automate the pre-selling and selling process. So when they schedule a session with you one-to-one for free, your job is not to sell. Your job is just to close.
Right.
Just now you mentioned about like the personal brand, right? So basically what you are doing is actually building the personal brand, and then consulting is just the way to monetize it. Okay, and then there is actually also so many other way to monetize the brand.
Right.
So you're already working in the same field for 20 years. And then if you want to build like a personal brand and then one day leave your current company, you need to have the way to create like a passive income that is automatically go to your bank account. So consulting is one of the ways. So consulting in the beginning is just to get some traction, get some result for people, and then it will be recorded. After it being recorded, then you can automatize it, and then after that, you can keep on selling it automatically using the website. So now you have a personal brand. It's online. You are building the legacy, and the people know you, which is actually the same process.
Exactly what Debbie's saying. So the first step is to consult, to get some, because people will pay you the most for one-on-one consulting, right? So people will pay you, Patrick, $5,000, $10,000 for 5 hours of talking to them. Literally, they'll pay you $5,000-$10,000 for 5 hours. Then what?
I'm listening. Sorry to interrupt. I'm listening, and I understand many things that you're saying, and I've also thought about it in the past. And I was in the back of my head running, trying to answer your question earlier. Why am I not doing this yet? And what it is saying is that for many years, I've been working with these companies, and we have never gotten to the stage where we got the interest of the top manager or the owners of the company. And this is my whole career. Now, the biggest breakthrough that I have, that I've built the network and the credibility to finally step in front of the owners of the company. So we're at a breakthrough time right now, and that's something I don't want to give up. So after I've done that, then it would be very easy for me to move on to go into consultancy.
Okay, so the question is,
to add to my accomplishments, that I've actually worked and am working directly with the owner of the biggest company in this country, and that adds to my credentials.
Right.
Where he's at that point, where the breakthrough is right there. All the staff of the owner has already committed to set the appointment.
I understand. My question, okay, so basically what you're saying is, Pat, what you're saying is the reason why you haven't done your own practice yet is because you've been envisioning in your mind getting to this point in your career.
Yes, this is the peak. This is the peak. This is the climax of my career. And for me to give it up right now wouldn't make sense.
Okay, I 100% agree. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Did me or Debbie at all say quit your job right now? Did we say that?
No.
Correct.
That's why you didn't ask for permission. That's why you're building a personal brand right now.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I have a question. Hey, Debbie. Debbie, what do you think about this opinion? Debbie, what do you think if Patrick is working, let's say, with a farmer or that with a business that does farming, right, Debbie? And let's say that client does 500 million a year, and let's just say if that person finds out that Patrick has his own business on the side on top of his corporate gig, do you think that guy would find that impressive or a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing.
I agree. Builds your credibility. You can run your own business.
Right. So, Pat, I understand all your concerns and I agree with them, and they're all great concerns, and they're very important to have. Otherwise, you will have a problem and fuck everything up. Because a lot of people would try to do this. Okay, I'm going to jump on this consulting gig and then get fired from their job because they didn't follow a few guidelines. So, which is 100% a point what all of these things you're saying. But the good way, if we deal with all these concerns correctly and it doesn't affect, because what you're basically saying to me, Abby and Debbie and the whole world, what you're saying is, I don't want to risk compromising the opportunity that I've worked so hard to get for right now.
Yes.
So the reason why I'm asking you all these questions, and me and Debbie are working with you on this, is to make you feel like you can do this in a way that will not compromise what you have right now. And again, I applaud you for getting where you get to. That's amazing. That's a pinnacle. All right. But me and Debbie are trying to show you how, okay, you can do this consulting thing to avoid hurting your opportunity, but you can use this consulting as a way to help you with that opportunity. So when you're doing these gigs and on the side, you have a private practice, people will be talking about you at work. They're going to be like, whoa, you hear what Patrick did for that one guy over there? Yeah. Did you hear Patrick got that guy to buy $500,000 worth of farming equipment on a Saturday? That's crazy. That's never happened before. Who does that on the day off? So then what happens is these bigger guys that you like, that you want to attract and work with right now, that you're networking with, that are doing $500 million a year, they see that you're doing this successfully and bringing in other business on the side. I would think that would,
Last time I actually already did a lot of things that what you are scared, but it's not exactly consulting, but I have done a lot of work outside my current job, even though they asked me to sign the company agreement. So I'm actually like a UX designer, right? I help a lot of businesses to develop their own digital project. And then when I first came to Singapore, I didn't have a lot of credential. I didn't know anybody, and I didn't have so much portfolio. So basically, I'm very young, and I didn't have so much connection and portfolio and nothing. And what I did was they asked me to sign this company agreement, but on top of that, I also do a lot of freelance outside the work. So basically, I'm doing the same thing, but it's more about like training local businesses and also like building like people digital project in Singapore. And the good thing is that my boss basically know about it, but then I mentioned like I'm only helping people to do the personal brand. And then when they are actually see that, right? And the good thing is that you are scared that people know about it, right? But at that time, what I did was I want everyone to know about it. I put it everywhere on the Facebook, on the LinkedIn, and when you are scared that people know and then they will let you go, it actually didn't happen on my current job. So after they know about it, they're becoming so afraid that they will lose me. So they asked me to sign a 3 years contract with a gratuity payment bonus. If I stay in the company for a few years, then I will get like huge bonuses. So I signed that contract, and then after that, I building like really great portfolio and then keep on posting on the social media. And after I signed that contract, there are so many companies that keep on calling me, the competitors company. They all want to work with me. They all want me to join their teams and so on. And my boss know about that, but my boss is becoming super scared. So they didn't want me to go. They didn't like let me go because of I'm doing something outside the work, but they want me to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I know. But what will happen if, let's say, in the beginning I ask for permission? Can I actually doing something outside the work? They will, for sure, they will say no.
Understand. That's a good. Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
good.
Yes, but my friend is also doing the same thing, but doing it wrong. So my one of my colleague is actually trying to sell his product and services also, but he is trying to sell it inside the company. You get it? So inside the company, he is talking to all the other colleagues about, do you want to build your own businesses? I will develop a website for you, and then I will develop an app for you. And then after that, everyone's know about it, and everyone's becoming so unhappy. Like, I didn't want to buy anything. So after that, he got like he got, what is that called? Yellow letter? What is it called?
Mhm.
Like
A
Warning
written up warning.
yeah, like a warning letter, one time, two time, and then being let go. Okay, so as long as you are actually doing something that is helpful outside and it didn't interfere with the company, they will see the value of it instead of, trying to put you down and let you go. I think they will appreciate that. I mean, I'm not sure about your company, but that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a very jealous employer.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's all the same thing at the end of the day. It's all about the money. Okay, and who's where, and you are making them money. That's why they need you there. If you're not there, they lose money. Okay. Well, everything that Debbie just said. Here's an example. Based on listen to this. Watch. If anything, if you do this right, as long as you don't give them one reason to be upset, they can't be upset. They can't. And if they get upset, and if you don't give them a reason, they just look stupid and they make themselves look bad. Could you imagine if you did absolutely nothing wrong and you only did good to help your company you work for, and they want to go out and talk bad about you, and you show them the facts, and you tell everybody on your Facebook and your LinkedIn what they did to you, they would lose business. They would be. So if you did everything to a T, don't do the things that Debbie's example did, that guy. Don't do none of this stuff that we're talking about here. And they want to try to badmouth you for doing nothing wrong, but only helping their brand by getting them more customers on your weekend. If they do that, it's called bad publicity. And they're not going to want to do that to you because they know who you are, because you have power. So if they want to try to, Patrick, hey Patrick, we don't like you doing your own consulting, even though that you're making us sales on a Saturday. We're not going to give you a bonus if you keep doing this. Okay, well, watch what happens when you broadcast that to your audience, what they say. Or when Thomas puts an ad on Facebook and all of their employees, the company, see that ad of what they said. So they're not going to want to talk bad about you because we'll throw it in their face and we'll cost them a lot of money. Same thing about the people that are scamming you out of 20 grand. They're going to give you that money or they're going to hurt for it. Either they can give you your money back or they can lose more money from losing future business. What do you want to do? It's your choice, right? We talked about that in that 2-hour recording I sent you guys. But anyway, so here's the deal. What Debbie's trying to say is that doing this on the side is a negotiation tactic. As I will be talking about in my book, Negotiate Your Mark, it's called Getting Altitude. So what happens is if you do this on the side, so look, here's your boss, here's your employer. We're going to pay you $12,000 a month before taxes. And you're making us $1 million a month, whether like it or not, take it or leave it. Okay, I'll take it. So you're right here. So you keep that. You have no leverage. They're above you. You're down here because you have no other source of income, so you have to take it. You have no choice. But if Patrick was making $100,000 a month, he'd say goodbye. But you can't because they have altitude over you in the negotiation. But you start your business on the side on the weekend, for example, and now all of a sudden you got clients, you're making some money. And people are talking about you. Now you get up here. And now you have another source of income on the side. You're making $5,000, $10,000 a month on the side. And now you've matched your salary. You're over here, you're up here now. Now you don't need them, they're down here. And they find out, hey, Pat, you're doing this consulting business? Yep. Hey, Pat, are you thinking about leaving us? Maybe. Well, Pat, well, what if we pay you more money? I'll think about it. You see what happens here? It gives you altitude in the negotiation. They're paying the other guy $400,000 a year supply equipment, and he's doing half the work you're doing. Shame on them. Are you thinking about exiting? Of course you are, because you're paying you like shit. And when it comes to that point, when they see you have a consulting practice on the side, are you thinking about leaving us? What do you think? You're paying this guy $400,000 a year and he's doing 1/4 the work I'm doing. What do you think? What would you do? Would you want to stay? What would you do? You ask them this question and see what your boss says. Okay, Pat, what if we start paying you the same we pay him? What if we start paying you $400,000 a year? $400,000 a year? It's a little late for that now. Because now it's more about my time. I want to be with my wife and not work more than 30 hours a week. I'm not 20, I'm older. So I tell you what, I'll stay with you at your company, $400,000 a year on part-time, or I'm gone. What do you want to do? It's your decision. Because either way, I'll be fine with or without you. It's your choice. Well, Pat, okay, fine. Now you're working there part-time, $400,000 a year. That's called high-level negotiation. That's how your boy got that deal for $400,000 a year, because he did that. He had negotiation over your boss. He had altitude over your boss. That's what's going to happen when you start to gig on the side. I need some water. Does that make any sense? So this only works, Pat, because it's you. I'm not trying to like stroke your ego. I'm just saying that this is the reality situation. Me and Debbie are telling you this. Here's one more thing. There's this guy. Watch this. This probably won't make no sense. It's a great example based on what Debbie is saying. There's a guy named Brock Lesnar. Okay, now watch. There's two companies. The UFC company, which does mixed martial arts, and the WWE entertainment company. Brock Lesnar goes to this company, becomes a world champion, right? Makes them hundreds of millions of dollars. Then, okay, first he's at WWE making millions a year. Millions a year. Then they treat him like shit. So he leaves WWE and goes over here to UFC. Makes him hundreds of millions over here. This company over here is like, fuck, we miss Brock Lesnar. The fans miss him. We need to get him back here. Brock, will you come back? Brock's like, no, I'm over here with UFC. WWE says, well, Brock, what if we give you $10 million a year to work for us instead of $1 million a year? Brock says, no, my time is more important to me. I hate being on the road. WWE says, okay, but what if you just come working part-time and we pay you $10 million a year? Brock says, let me think about it. $10 million a year part-time? Maybe. This is what he does. He's with the UFC. He says, UFC, I think I'm going to leave now because WWE is telling me they're going to pay me $10 million part-time. Dana White says, what? You're going to leave us? We just paid you $10 million for one fight. One fight for 25 minutes. We paid you $10 million. You're going to leave now? Well, maybe, because this company over here is going to offer me $10 million and I don't even have to train for a fight. I can just fake and just entertain people. So yeah. Brock leaves, goes back to WWE, making $10 million a year part-time. True story. The UFC is missing Brock. And hey, Brock, we come back for a fight. One fight, come back. Brock says, I'll think about it. Brock's contract ends with the WWE and they need to resign him. You know what Brock does for negotiation tactic? He goes over to the UFC and talks to Dana White and says, hey, Dana White, my WWE contract's up. I want to fight. Will you pay me to fight? Dana White says, sure. Dana White goes to ESPN and all the news stations and says, Brock's coming back to UFC. The WWE is like, fuck, we're going to lose Brock again. WWE says, well, what if we give you like $15 million a year part-time? Brock says, I'll think about it. Brock goes back to WWE, making $15 million a year part-time. He just used UFC for negotiation tactic. He never planned on going back. It's hilarious. This really happened. Okay. This is how negotiation works. People do this all the time. And you're in a similar position right now. The question is if you actually have the balls to do it, right? So you're a consultant. You're a very intelligent man. You understand what I'm saying. But anyways, maybe there's a little bit of information, but the big thing here, Pat, here's the big thing. You have potential and capability. If you have potential to make $125,000 in 8 weeks or 10 weeks with your consulting practice, but if you don't believe you can do it, then you can't do it. Hey, I can give you an action plan to make $2,500 a month, but if you don't want to complete the action plan, I can't make you no money. And if you don't believe you can, then you won't. So
I understand that part. Yes.
I really don't like. I'm all about facts. I don't play in the land of the gray. I'm about whether we do this or we don't. So, but anyways, so that's with you. So what I recommend, what Debbie is also saying, what I recommend that we do is this, is that eventually, I'm assuming eventually, if we start doing business together, right? Because this is be a business partner thing, all right? Is that what we do is on the website is there's privacy and disclaimer links, privacy policy, terms of conditions, and all that stuff. On the bottom of the website, and the terms of conditions and the privacy policy, we put all that stuff in there that you're concerned about. So your boss or anybody else can read your terms of service. They can read your privacy policy and see the full disclosure of what you can and cannot do and what you will or will not do. So there's no question about it when somebody wants to question what you're doing for your own practice. Does that make sense? So you just got to make sure you're smart about it. So, and you could even consult a lawyer in your area and say, what do you think about this? Consult a lawyer about it too. Further clarification. So here's the reality. There's no reason why you should feel like you can't start your own business on a Saturday. That's insane. When you've made them hundreds of millions, you said you make them 20 million a year, Pat. You've been there 4 years. 20 times 4, 20, 40, 60, 80. You've made them over $80 million. And they've paid you like $400,000. So they should be applauding you to have the courage to do your own thing. So I recommend that you start with trying to get your first client and see how that goes, like Debbie was saying. And what's going to happen is once you get your first client, okay, you get your first client to give you 5K, 10K, you're going to freak out. Like you're not even going to, your whole mind is going to change. When I got my first check, I was sitting over there in 2012, or was it 2009? My first check, I was like, oh my God, I made money. It was only $127 for that check, but that was like, whoa, this works. You get your first client, you're going to freak out. So this is the one client. So you got to start from there. So it's pretty cool. So anyways, any questions about anything me and Debbie are talking about when it comes to the consulting thing?
I appreciated the discussion and it made things clearer, and also showed that there are solutions to the issues that I had.
Abby, what do you think?
It is something that moving forward, I know it is eventually where I will end up in doing, because I don't envision myself in corporate forever. Where, of course, it's just the timing was the issue. But now that you said that there is a way to start it simultaneous while keeping my job and still achieving what I wanted to do, then there's a opportunity.
Yes. You're long overdue, Pat. You're long overdue. There are people that are like younger than me. They're like 22, making like 20 grand a month consulting. It's insane. I'll teach you how to do your Instagram. Give me some money. It's just insane. Like, I'll teach you how to do your Facebook. Give me thousands of dollars. It's just insane. People are doing this. You're long overdue. You're long overqualified. So the good news is that you've met somebody like me that can teach you how to do this. I can teach you how to sell your own. I can teach you how to pre-sell your service so they want to buy it. I can teach you how to sell it. I can teach you exactly how to close it and teach you how to package it. That's the key. You have the skill. Now we just need to pre-sell it, sell it, and close it. So, and this is what I believe is going to happen. What I believe this is what's going to believe is going to happen is that what's going to happen is you're going to do this on the side. Okay, and you do this on the side, it's going to increase your value now. And in business, the two most important factors to any business, is supply and demand. This is what drives price. The difference between selling something for 1,000 versus 50,000 is supply and demand. Supply and demand. You get your own clients, the demand for you goes up. Right? And there's only one of you. Limited supply, high demand. What's going to happen is you get your own consulting practice on the side. People will talk about you. And they're going to hear about it. It's called omnipresence. People talk about you at work, all over the place. It will happen. Especially when you make a video interview and post it on your website, and you put it on your Facebook and LinkedIn, everybody will be watching that video interview. Your boss will be asking you, please don't leave. Because he held nothing to threaten you to stay. And what's going to happen is you're going to renegotiate your salary from $120,000 to double on half the time. And if you worked part-time, making $20,000 a month, you were still making them money. And that is why they will offer you a deal like that. Because as long as it's sliding scale in the sale, as long as it's sliding scale within the sale, they will pay you. As long as they can make 5 times the return what they pay you, they will pay you.
Those are the guidelines that we use, yes.
So yeah. It's kind of a similar situation to my client Tony. He works at Heartland Payment Systems in Wisconsin. And they pay him $20,000 a month. But it's nothing. Because after taxes, he has about $14,000. And then he has around $10,000 a month in bills. So he doesn't have and it's ridiculous. They gave him $45,000 for bringing their company from $300,000 a year to $3 million a year. They gave him $45,000, a bonus check. But guess what, Patrick? Ask me if he can use that $45,000 right now. Ask me.
Sorry, yeah, I can definitely.
No, I'm saying my Tony, the company gave him a $45,000 bonus check from bringing the company from $300,000 to $3-4 million a year. But guess what they told Tony? Guess what they told him? They said, Tony, you can't. We're going to give you the $45,000, but you can't touch that money for 2 to 3 years. Is that cool? It's not even. Anyways, so that was kind of the big thing on the call. I was trying to figure out where you're at with the consulting and where Abby is at. So where you're at is you can do your consulting practice, and where Abby's at, you want to do farming, and Abby wants to do gardening. And where Abby's at, Abby, you are at the point to where you know about gardening, you understand gardening, and you're very passionate about it, and you want to learn more about it, right? So you can sell your own tools, help other people, and have a successful gardening business, right?
If we will start a business of Patrick, maybe I can just help us assist him as a background, like a back office, something like that. Especially if you will just do it on a part-time basis. But if we will do it together with the gardening, I'm not sure if we still have time to do the research, and
right.
stuff.
Well, the quick question is, Patrick, how many hours a week would you have to be able to work on the business without it interfering with your job? How much time would you have to work on it?
I'd say be about 6 hours a week.
because you would have to have one training call with me a week, and then you'd have to have, which would be like maybe like an hour or 2 hour call, and then you would have to work on the business for probably around, have one day where you can just work on it. Like one day you dedicate to the business, like a 1 hour day, Saturday or Sunday, 8 hour block, focus on the business. Is that doable?
At this time, at the peak of these deals coming in, I think not yet. At most, I'd have about six hours a week. But after
Okay.
these deals are in place, then I would have more time.
Maybe set it up. If we can set it up slowly, or and then
Right. Do you work Saturday and Sunday, or are you off?
We're off Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so what you could do is you could have a meeting with me on a Saturday for like a training meeting. I got to train you for, I'd say, around 1 to 2 hours, right? And then that same day or on Sunday, then you could have a 8 hour block where you can work on it. So you'll still have one full day off. So what you could do is you could do the training for 1 or 2 hours one day, right? And then what you can do is you can do that training on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then that same day you can work on the business for 6 hours. So 8 hours total, like that. So training, 1 to 2 hour training, and 6 to 7 hours work on the business, an 8 hour block, one day of the week.
That would be basically working through the whole week.
Well, you'd have one day, you'd have Saturday or Sunday off. You have one day off. But the reality is that if you want to build a consulting practice and get to $10,000 a month and do this, you're going to have to put a little bit of time in. And 8 hours a week is nothing to be able to make an extra $10,000 a month on the side while you're still making $10,000, $12,000 a month at your job. So you're going to have, that's the bare minimum. Otherwise, it's going to be so slow and it's going to be very difficult to do anything.
Yeah.
You need to at least have that. And then you have that Saturday or that Sunday, that one whole day with you and your wife to have your good time. Also, what you can do is that same day, so watch this. So other question that you have, because I see Abby's concern is, well, what about, here's the deal. Abby, okay, you can make a lot of money gardening. Okay, every month there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are searching gardening tools, seeds for gardening, how to garden. There's so much, it's insane. There's 500,000 people every single month that are looking for all this information. Okay, I showed you this, remember? So you can do the gardening business. Now, same thing for Pat. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that need your help with consulting. So it depends on how you guys want to do it. What I would recommend is that, this is what I would recommend. On a Sunday, the training that I give you would be applicable to the both of you. Okay? So that 2 hour block, it'd be applicable to the both of you. And then that 6 hours on that Sunday, you both could literally both work on your own separate businesses for 6 hours. Mm-hmm. So you'd have your Saturday to yourselves, one whole day, a break from everything, the whole world. And then Sunday, you together as a couple can both work on your own individual businesses. And here's the thing, what's going to happen is, if we become partners on this, I'm going to be working on your business more than like you are. I'll be working on I'll be dedicated to one whole day of my time every week, which is a 14-hour block to your business, to her business and your business. So I'm going to help expedite the process. So, but that's ideally, if I were you, that's how I would do it. Because you both can do your own thing. And also, Abby will have more time. I recommend that Abby will have more time. Okay? So Abby can work on other things on during the week when she has more time. She has a lot more free time than you do.
Yes.
But also, for example, if you have extra work you need to take care of on a Saturday or Sunday, then don't do the business on that Saturday or Sunday. Don't do it. Just be like, Thomas, you know what? I got to prepare for this meeting. I got a time, or I need a break. I'm exhausted. I'll be okay. No meeting. We're off for this weekend. But my first goal will be to get you your first client for $5,000 up front and for $1,000 a month payments. That's the first goal. And for Abby, the first goal for Abby would be to sell 10 of those pruners through her website. Okay, I'm trying to say it. So, hypothetically speaking, because Abby's doing more of its question is, what would make you the most money now? I ask myself when I work with anybody, what do we do to make you money now? Right? And so Abby, she's doing gardening. So Abby, she doesn't know enough to really consult on gardening. And if Abby, if you knew a lot more about gardening, you can make a lot of money consulting in that niche. But for you right now, your best thing would be on selling the tools, right? The pruners, and selling other products as an affiliate, right? Seeds, other tools, all kinds of things. Okay, and later on, eventually down the road, you could have some kind of consulting thing that make a lot of money. But it'd be easy for you to make a lot of sales, but on lower price tags for you, for the gardening business. All right, so for example, you'd be more about volume. So for example, you sell, 50 products a month, for example, 60 products a month, but you may only be making like $5, $10 a product, for example. So it's like $600 a month, but it doesn't involve a lot of consulting. It's more automated and more volume. Patrick starting off would be less volume, but just higher ticket. So they're kind of different business models. And the cool thing is that they work together, right? You have the gardening and the farming, and what I have drawn up here, I literally have your businesses side by side and how they're connected. Right? You guys literally can do joint ventures together. Like when you have a list of like 5,000 leads, you can broadcast them and tell them about a video Patrick just came out with on his website. And when Patrick has a list of like 5,000 leads, he can broadcast them and say, hey, my wife just came out with her video on her website. So it's like hand in hand, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of like where I'm at with the both of you. We spent a lot of time talking about the consulting thing, but that was necessary. Me and Debbie really needed to understand where you're coming from. Not that, but if I'm going to help you do this thing, I really need to know these things, because I can't just pitch you this and show you all this stuff without understanding your situation. You're in a complex situation, so these things take time to talk about it. I'm not here to help you make a sale. I'm here to change your life and help you replace your income. I'm here to be more like a business partner, not just to sell you like a coaching package or something. But ideally, what you want to do is, what I hear from your heart, is that you want to work with really the bigger farms. That's your ultimate goal. You want to work with the big guys that have the most impact on agriculture.
Right.
Right? Right?
Right. Exactly.
That's what I'm hearing from you. What I'm kind of hearing is, hey, I don't want to work with 100 different farms. I'd rather just work with like the big guys that make the big decisions, that have the most impact on everybody.
Yeah, I'm tired of having those low-level discussions about small things. I'd rather do larger corporations and put them on the right track.
Right, because it takes a lot more work for the same service.
Yes.
It's kind of like me, for example. Like if I work with a startup company, like with Abby or you, with all due respect, you guys haven't sold a $1,000, $2,000 product yourself. So therefore, it takes a lot more work for me to make you money, versus if I deal with somebody that has a website that sells home furniture and they have a customer list of 4,000 people, I can give them a 4-day cash machine campaign and say, okay, incorporate this 4-day cash machine with your marketing funnel, with your emails to your existing customer base, and let's make $5,000 in 3 days. It's easy to do because they have an existing business. But when you're dealing from scratch, it's a lot more difficult. So normally I don't do the startup thing. But I'm in a unique situation right now. But ideally what you want to do is, so there's this book right here, How I Created a $175,000 per month consulting business in 90 days. So like I said, I read this book I took this class for the book. But basically what they do is they explain in this book in great detail. Frank Kern is his name. This came out again like 2013. He explains that, look, you could be selling the same service to someone. Your service could be worth $50,000, right? But if you sell to somebody that needs your service that's broke, you can't charge them. But if you sell the same service to someone that has $10 million, $50,000 is nothing, right? So what he does is, in this book, he literally only has about 20 clients. Each client pays him $9,000 a month. And he works with each client for about 20 minutes a week. Because they have a lot of money. So to them, it's valuable, you see? So that's really what you're trying to say. You want to work with a big fish. So I completely understand where you're coming from. It's kind of like, for example, if I'm trying to sell flowers to a guy that is just in high school versus a guy that's trying to get married. The guy that's trying to get married, he'll pay more for the flowers, right? So who you're targeting. So that's kind of like where I think. So I believe that Debbie really helped out on this call with figuring out with the consulting thing. And I really understand where you're at now, and hopefully this made a lot of sense. And sorry, Abby, if I talked more to Patrick in this video or in our conference. I knew all about you, but I really needed to get to know Patrick. I didn't really have that chance. So I was making all these slides today. I'm like, well, how do I can't quite, I gotta learn more about Pat. I gotta understand what's going on here. So those pruners that you have for your business, those can be sold. The problem is with that is that on the internet, on a monthly basis, in the entire world of Google, there's only about 2,000 to 3,000 people every month that are looking for pruners. It's a product that's not in demand like you think it is. It may look like it, but it's not really as in demand as you think it would be. But it can be sold, and we can sell them. So that can be sold, and there's so many different ways to monetize that gardening niche. There's so many things you can do. You can sell everybody else's, you can sell other ebooks, get $26 a commission. You can sell seeds, you can sell tools. There's so many things you can do with gardening and Stand Plenty. You can sell your own t-shirts. You said you had some t-shirt ideas. That would be some things that we would start selling right away. So now, unfortunately, I only want to take about 15 to 20 minutes to talk about Patrick and the consulting, but it turned into a big whole massive conversation, which I believe is extremely helpful for you, Patrick, because now you have some ideas on how you can actually do this, right? So now hopefully you don't feel like there's a big barrier between you and your potential clients. Now you should feel like, hey, you know what? If somebody asks me to consult them, I can say yes. So what time is it? So right now it's at 1:30. It's almost, oh my goodness, 3 hours. So again, when you work with me, I don't rush these things. This is a very important conversation. I mean, because I can't just rush this process.
I appreciate
So I have all these. So where we're at right now. So this is very helpful. So I have all this stuff to go through on my slides here. I have a ton of things to show you guys and talk to you about. I literally laid out the framework for the business and everything, for your business, his business, how they work together, a ton of stuff. Probably about a half an hour to hour to talk about. So I'm willing to take a break. I'm hungry to go eat. This is a lot of fun for me. These are conversations you don't get to have very often. You know what I mean? And I think it's awesome. I think it's great that all of us have had a chance to work together. So if you want, either we can reschedule for next week, or if you want, we can take a recess break and continue, and I can show you the framework for both your businesses. It's up to you guys. You tell me what you want to do.
I think it would be better if we reschedule for next week, because we'll have to catch up with another activity later this afternoon.
Okay, let's do that. When do you guys want to plan for next week?
We have a convention this coming week after the weekend.
Maybe we can do a weekday.
Yeah, in the evening, perhaps.
Okay.
That would be after after 7, after October 7.
Yeah, maybe October 8 in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
October 8.
October 8, you're out. You
No,
have
no,
the
no.
Bible study.
We're on vacation
Okay.
for 2 weeks.
Okay.
October in the evening.
What day are you guys thinking? I'm sorry. What? Go ahead. What day are you guys thinking?
October 8, evening, Manila time.
Okay, October 8th. Hold on. 28th. Okay, so we're thinking not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday.
Yes.
Following Tuesday.
Okay, and you have and then this weekend going on, you have a convention, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And so what about on the 1st? You guys busy all that week?
On the first, I'm busy. Yes.
Okay.
We have appointment
Okay.
already.
Okay. What do you think? I want to send you the video, so I want to make sure you have a chance. So basically, for your homework, what I want you to do is I want you to watch this video, and I want you to write down all the concerns that you had for consulting. All right, I want you to write all those down. And when you watch the video, I want you to fill in. So you write down, so I am concerned about X, Y, Z. Write down that concern. And then I want you to fill in the answer to that concern that me and Debbie gave you on the call. And I really want you to sit down and look at your concerns and the answers that we helped you with. Okay. And then once you do that, then you'll be ready for the business. But this is very, very important, that these are really big concerns that you have that you've been thinking about probably for a very long time, right? I'd like to think you've probably been thinking about this for years. Every time you say no to somebody, you probably like, should I have said no or should I have helped them? Right. This is me caring. I will care more than you'll ever know, as weird as that may sound. But anyways, so do that, and then now I want to make sure when you guys think you'll have time to actually go through the video and then be ready for a follow-up. So I want to make sure that you have time to go through this.
Would be October 8th is our schedule.
Okay. So when do you think you'll have time to actually watch the video, though? You said
we would be able to watch that on the 6th.
Okay.
October Sunday. Yes.
Okay.
What are you guys doing tonight?
We'll be out this afternoon and this evening.
His sister's birthday also,
Yes.
and we need
Oh.
to.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Okay.
birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. So so you guys will be able to watch this on the 6th, right, on a Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's about 3 hours of video, and then we'll follow up on the Tuesday, your Tuesday.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What time do you guys have right now over there? What time is it?
It's 2:35 in the afternoon.
2:35 in the afternoon for you. What day is it over there right now?
This is the 28th.
Yeah.
29th, right?
28th.
8.
It's 28th. Okay. Oh, okay. It's the 28th for you, and it's 2:35 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's
What
1:35
state are
for
you in?
me. I'm in North Dakota,
Okay.
in the United States Central Time Zone.
Yes.
So right now it's 1:35 a.m. for you. It's 2:35 in the afternoon. So that means that you are 13 hours ahead of me. Okay. 13 hours ahead of me. So basically, what time do you say on the 8th?
That would be around 9 o'clock p.m. Philippine time.
Okay. 9 o'clock your time. So that would be
8.
9 o'clock, 8 a.m. for, 9 o'clock for you at night. Then 9 o'clock in the morning. So it'd be around 8 o'clock in the morning for me on the 8th.
Yes.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Or,
Okay, 8
or
o'clock
we
for
can
me.
do even a little bit later if you want.
Okay, are you sure? Because you work the next day.
It's okay. We're used to taking international calls.
Okay. What time? What time would you prefer if we did it later? What's the latest you'd prefer the meeting to be over?
We could do a 10 p.m. call Philippine time.
Oh, that's start time or end time?
Start time.
Okay, so hypothetically, if it's, let's just say, a 2 hour block, so you'd be okay to go to midnight.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure because I know you're working a lot and you got a lot going on right now with networking and all
Yes.
that.
We have
Okay, so
quite frequently to Europe as well. So we're used to these kind of schedules.
okay, cool. That's awesome that you have a chance to leave the country. How often do you get a chance to leave the country with your wife?
It used to be at least once a year, but lately not so
No
often.
time.
Yeah.
When was the last time you left the country with your wife?
About 2 years ago.
Okay, well the goal is in the next 6 months is to get you and her to go leave the country. And you guys start doing that at least twice a year. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Does that? What do you think, Abby? Does that sound good?
For me, but I don't know with him.
Can be arranged.
Patrick, if you could leave the country twice a year and maintain your revenue and make money while you're on vacation, would you go twice a year?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's the plan. All right, good. So we'll plan for that date. I will work on sending you the video. I will upload it and I'll have it access to you guys within like the next 24 hours or so.
Okay.
So you guys have a good night. Any questions at all about anything before we go?
No more questions.
Okay, good. And again,
I cannot see
Go
the
ahead.
video of Debbie.
Huh?
I cannot see your video.
Did she
You
freeze?
will see it later. Don't worry.
All right.
Did she freeze? Did she freeze?
No, no, no.
Oh, no video at all.
Really? She's right here. You'll see her in the video. She's right. You'll see it on the recording.
All right.
Any question? Anything you want to say, Debbie, before we go?
No, I think it's good.
Appreciate the time.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Yes.
You.
Yes. And again, just make sure when you watch the video, the homework is make a list of your concerns and then write them down, and then really think about what me and Debbie said, and then Abby, if you have any other questions regarding your business and the gardening or selling tools, whatever questions you have, just write them down. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of friction and a lot of shifting in paradigm. That's why right now we're
Good. Hey man, I'm really excited for you two because you two work very hard. You both have a lot of skill, and you guys have tried to do this. You guys gave somebody 20 grand, your heart and soul, and they didn't even tell you any of this stuff. Like, so at least you guys are finally getting somewhere with your venture. You know what I'm trying to say?
yes.
Like you're getting ideas and actually how you can do this now. So awesome. So you guys have a great night and have a happy birthday with your sister.
Yes.
And we'll stay in touch. So have a good week.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.